Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Yankees right-hander Frankie Montas will have shoulder surgery next week and miss most or all of the 2023 baseball season. The Derek Carr sweepstakes is underway. The veteran quarterback now free to sign with any team following his release from the Raiders. There will be plenty of interest in Carr and other free agent QBs this offseason, considering the number of franchises with a need at the position, explains ESPN's Herm Edwards.
They actually own the floor because there's only so many of them.
Yeah.
There's 6 quarterbacks, Nick, available maybe? Well, you got to start doing the math. So first of all, you're going to overpay. So to get that out of your mind. Don't say, no, you're going to overpay because the quarterbacks right now, they got you.
Herm Edwards on Get Up. ESPN's Adam Schefter's reporting Jaguars receiver Calvin Ridley applying to the NFL today for reinstatement. He was suspended for at least the 2022 season March 7th after an investigation found he bet on NFL games while he was away from the Falcons. NBA, after missing the last 3 games with ankle soreness, LeBron James back tonight for the Lakers against the Pelicans, 10 Eastern, ESPN TV.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt.
Good to see you too, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Today I was driving Drew to school.
Hump day.
We got a text message
It's hump day.
from my dear friend Darren James.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Yes, that Darren James.
Hump day.
It said,
It's hump day.
Happy Hump Day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
And there was a link
Hump day.
to the remix.
It's hump day.
Hit it, Muse.
Guess what day it is? Julie. Huh? Julie.
Ah,
Guess
ah,
what day
ah,
it is?
what?
Julie.
Muse.
Huh? Julie. Guess what day
Did you
it
know
is?
there was a remix?
I didn't, but man, I'm glad I do now.
I love the internet.
Guess what day it is?
Have I ever
So
told you?
good.
Have I ever told you how much I love the internet?
Yes,
What day is it, Mike?
but say it again.
I love the internet. I don't know who did it.
What day is it, Mike?
I don't know why. Well, I mean, of course I know
I know
why.
you can hear me.
'Cause it was
Guess
awesome.
what today is?
Yeah.
I mean,
Listen, guess what today
maybe
is?
we got our poll question today, Muse.
Listen, guess what today is?
Has the remix
Listen, guess what today is?
supplanted
Hump day.
Humpty Bump?
Hey,
I mean,
It's really good, too. That's the thing.
that is bumping.
Like, it's awesome. I gotta be okay with it. I'm liking the vibe.
Drop the bass.
Yeah.
What day
Drop
is
the
it, Mike?
beat.
Do you think we can still work the drops in, though? Do you think that would work as the same?
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Probably not,
Yeah.
because the whole thing is the drops.
Yeah, I know. That's what
I
I'm
know.
saying.
I like when old lady comes in and goes, "It's hump day."
It's hump day.
Paulie is our resident hip hop savant from the mean streets of Central
Facts.
with your low riding Chevy. at bumps with your subs, your 10s and 12s. Did I say that right?
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah. How do we feel about it? Is it legit? Does it work?
I like it.
Guess what day it is?
I think it's really good. I can get behind this.
Julie. Guess what day it is?
Yeah. All right.
Guess what day
Poll
it is?
question.
What day it is?
What wins?
Anybody?
Everybody.
Guess what day it is?
The camel said everybody.
Everybody in the club getting tipsy.
Oh, no, never mind. He says anybody. I thought it was everybody. Got a whoop in there?
So good.
All right. Thank you. Thank you to Darren James for making me aware that a remix exists. I had no idea. But does the remix now supplant? Does it supplant the Humpty Bump? Humpty Bump's been around a long time on the show. That was a Jimmy Chester original, JCH, who brought in the Humpty Bump to AFR. Died a lot of years ago. We'll see if what you say. Well, it's a tale as old as time. Well, at least as long as Mickey Loomis has been the GM of the New Orleans Saints and Kai Harley's been in his position. Every year about this time, the New Orleans Saints start wheeling, dealing, cost-cutting, cap moving to make sure they get within cap compliance, and that has begun today. We know that the Saints started projected $55 million over the projected salary cap, so they have to be within cap compliance by March the 15th when the league year begins. A lot of people ask, well, what happens if they just don't get into cap compliance? You don't have that option. That's just literally not an option. You have to be within cap compliance. So they will be, and they will rework a number of contracts to do so. The first was today. Field Yates tweeting this morning. The question to getting under the cap has begun. I guess he means the quest. The Saints have converted $6.07 million of safety Marcus May's 2023 compensation into a signing bonus, creating $4.856 million in cap space per source. So Marcus May, the first to have his contract restructured. For those who are indoctrinated, not familiar, the Saints do this every year. They basically convert salary into signing bonus, and they spread that money out over future years of the contract, sometimes even create voidable years in the contract, so that way you could spread that money out over years that don't even exist. So basically that guy would still count against your cap in years when he's not even on the team anymore. But that's what the Saints have made a habit of doing, and looks like they're going to do here. Well, of course they will. They will do here. They've started with Marcus May. So in hour number 3, Kat Terrell's going to be here. She has a big piece today up at ESPN.com sort of explaining all the moves the Saints are going to make, because you can look at what contracts are going to be restructured to do this out of necessity. But you got a month to slice $55 million, and actually more than that, because you're going to need room to pay your draft picks and then sign free agents. And listen, if you take this away from the NFL and you just think of this in real world terms, say, well, how do you get out of debt? Because that's what the Saints have, basically. They have debt. They have a lot of debt in salary cap terms. How do you get out of debt? Well, you stop spending money. You stop buying on credit, essentially. And that's what the Saints need to do. You need to stop buying things you can't afford. And the way to do that is build through the draft and not through free agency. Stop signing free agents to deals and stop signing big ticket players, because you can't afford to do that. But to do that, you're going to get younger and you're probably going to be bad. But I think most of us are at a point where we realize that's the Saints are closer to rebuild, like really bad. I mean, you were going to draft in the top 10 of this year's draft. You are closer to being able to draft first overall and get a quarterback at the top of next year's draft than you are to being in the Super Bowl. So get worse to get better. I'm not saying tank. I'm just saying recognize what you are. And hopefully they do here in this offseason. But the annual purge has begun. All right, it is after further review. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Pluckers. Love telling you about South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online, southpointvw.com. Go to the parking lot right out here. Guarantee you'll see my black Volkswagen Atlas. Love driving it every single day. The 7-seater, 3-row 7-seater family SUV. You could shop them today. They even got the Crossport, which is the same Atlas. It's the Atlas Crossport, just takes out that third row. A little sleeker, shorter, sleeker on the back. You can check it out at South Point Volkswagen. Go test drive one today. Airline just north of Highland, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer, because at South Point Volkswagen, they move more inventory. They can give you the best deal. So shop them online today. Work out your financing online. Go see my friends at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? The LSU Tigers lost their 13th straight last night. They fell at Georgia by a point. If you didn't watch the game, I don't blame you. I don't think many of you are locked into this team anymore, and it's really becoming more and more difficult to talk about them at all. It's a lost season. We all know that, but it really is one of those things where I just kind of want this team to be able to taste a win again. It's been so long. Their last time they won was December the 27th, whenever they beat Arkansas in their SEC opener there at the Maravich Center, and they haven't won since. I mean, you're coming on 2 months without a win. And they were right there last night. LSU lost 65-63 to Georgia. Beautiful runner in the lane by KJ Williams to put LSU up a point. And they just couldn't get a stop. They needed one more stop, man. And they let Georgia go coast to coast and get a bucket. And then LSU's desperation heave didn't go. So disappointing. They continue to seek that elusive win. And they just haven't quite been able to get it. The good news for the Tigers is the next three are winnable. You got South Carolina, you got Vandy, you got Ole Miss. You can win any of those three. You can win all of those. The disappointing part is when you're as bad as LSU is, you're capable of losing all of those as well. So I know that, and maybe we'll circle back to this a bit later. I know there's a lot of frustration. I think there's more apathy from LSU fans at this point, because you understand this is a lost season, but there are some that are frustrated. And I'll continue to say, if you are one of those people and you're wondering if it's time to criticize Matt McMahon or whatever it may be, I'll just continue to say, okay, what do you want to criticize? Because they just don't have players. They don't have length. They don't have rim protection. They don't have scorers. They don't have shooters. They just don't have players. They've got a mid-major roster that's playing against one of the toughest conferences in America. And they had a brutal stretch, which we all knew. We talked about it before it happened, that it was going to be a brutal stretch, and it was. And now they've made it through it, and they'll have an opportunity to win some here coming up. We'll see if they can. The next swing comes Saturday against South Carolina at the Maravich Center. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. We're glad you're with us here. I'm pretty excited about this. So a lot of you have asked. I am ready now, some 48 hours from first pitch, a little more than 48 hours from first pitch. I'm ready to give you my projected LSU starting lineup and weekend rotation for the opening weekend. So we'll do that when we come back. Glad to have you aboard with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR. Don't you move.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. That's where you can find them. Love sharing 5-star Google reviews. This one came from Ralph Daigle, who said, the best service of all. Great people, very knowledgeable, answered all of my questions. Overall, great value. I highly recommend River City's 1 Hour Air. I do, Ralph does, and you would as well. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. If you have issues with your home central heater or your AC, no worries. River City's 1 Hour Air can help. They always work nights, holidays, weekends, never charge you extra to come out. The continuing education, they invest in their people to make sure they have the latest practices to get your job done right. It's River City's 1 Hour Air, 752-0001.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal. supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana Loyal. Always.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Women who suffer from cardiac arrest outside of a hospital are less likely than men to receive life-saving CPR from bystanders. This is especially true for Black and Latino women. Be the one in your family to help change this statistic by taking the American Heart Association's challenge to learn CPR. Be the beat for someone you love. You can make a difference when it matters most. Go to heart.org today to take the CPR challenge and save lives.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
So LSU baseball is going to open the season Friday night out at the box. By the way, if you're not going to do the box, come join us. We'll be at Tallulah inside the Renaissance Hotel. Bourbon, beers, burgers, baseball. Come hang out at Tallulah inside the Renaissance on Friday if you're not going to be at the box. A lot of people excited about this baseball season. Our friend Muse over here. Look at him coming out of his seat. Look at him over there. He's just...
It's going to be a great year.
So full of life.
It's going to be so good.
Wonderment. That's what you are. You know what's crazy, though? Baseball America today released their 2024 MLB draft top prospects. So that's not this coming draft, okay? That's not the draft that's going to include Dylan Cruz and Paul Skeens and Trey Morgan. Not that draft. The one after it.
Yeah.
They released their top prospects.
They never stop planning in baseball.
You ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
How excited do you want to be?
I mean, I have a pretty good idea of where this is going, so I'm pretty excited already. But Continue.
So the number one overall prospect for 2024, again, not this summer, next summer, Vance Honeycutt from North Carolina.
I've heard of him. He's good.
The number two prospect is Thatcher Hurd.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The guy who...
I know him.
The guy who's going to be LSU's Tuesday guy to start the season, by the way.
Him.
That guy. The number two prospect overall for next year's draft. Although Thatcher Hurd is going to end up being the Saturday guy. More on that in a second. Number four, Connor Griffin, who we talked about.
Heard of him, too.
The expectation, though, is that Connor Griffin is going to end up as the number one overall prospect for 2024. We had Connor on the show. Remember, he committed to LSU, had him on the show. He's from Mississippi. He's that guy. I mean, he is, at this point, he's Josh Hamilton. He is Bryce Harper. And that's the kind of prospect he is at this point in his life. Number 6 is Derek Serial, who is an outfielder out of Orange, California, who's committed to LSU.
Yeah.
So in the top 6 prospects, there's a current LSU pitcher and 2 signees.
And there's more.
The 8th overall prospect in next year's draft is Tommy White. So 4 of the top 8. Basically, you've got number 2, Thatcher Hurd, number 4, Connor Griffin, number 6, Derek Serial, number 8, Tommy White. That's pretty good. And you know that 2 of those guys are playing on the team this year.
Yeah.
And next year.
Yeah.
This is so much fun. I love doing this. Not done yet, too, by the way, Muse, if you're curious.
That's the best part. Oh,
I know.
I have a few more names in my mind, so keep going.
Number 31 on the list is Paxton Kling.
Yep, that's one of the names I had in my mind.
Who will be, unfortunately, a draft-eligible sophomore. But Paxton Kling, I believe it's a very strong possibility he will end up a first-round pick in the 2024 draft. And then I said, let's see, Kling was 31, right? So then 5 spots after him, 36, is Gavin Gitcher.
That was the other one I had in mind.
It's so stupid.
Man, why did we play the buzzer game here? I'd have been nailing them.
I know, Muse. You might have actually gotten something right.
Yeah.
That'd have been good. So anyway, wait, let's go back and score that again. So count these off for me.
All right.
Hurd.
That's 1.
Griffin.
That's 2.
Surreal.
That's 3.
Tommy White.
That's 4.
Paxton Kling.
That's 5.
And Gavin Guidry.
That's 6.
So 6 of the top 30. So you have 4 of the top 8 and 6 of the top 36.
There wasn't another signee in there? I thought there was going to be another signee in there. Huh. Oh, well.
Who am I missing?
I'm trying to think of the kid's, I'm trying to think of the kid's name.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of his name, and it's not coming to me at the present moment, so I'm sorry about that.
It doesn't matter. Hell with it.
Yeah,
I can't find it.
I can't find it.
Hell with it. Anyway, so the point is, LSU has a lot of talent. A lot of talent. I want to go through what I believe the starting lineup will be for LSU this weekend. I'll get to that in a second. You can make a futures bet on DraftKings, can you? Or do we have odds?
Yeah, LSU was the betting favorite at plus 500 when it opened. After the Grant Taylor injury, they dropped to plus 650 in Tennessee.
Was that at DraftKings?
That was at DraftKings.
All right, let me see. I'm trying to find college baseball on here. You just search college baseball. See, this is the tricky part. Whenever you have like a one-off like that, how do you find college baseball on here? Anyway, I'm sure you can find it. You just go into the search function, you'll find it. I can't find it. But then again, I'm trying to do this live on air, so I'll find it later. I'll go into the search function and find it. You can go make a bet on LSU there at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Hey, remember, new customers all this week make a $5 money line bet on an NBA game. And if you hit, they'll give you $150 in free bets. That's all this week at the DraftKings Sportsbook for new customers. A great time always to jump aboard DraftKings. Always great same-game parlays, reasons to jump aboard. Otter had himself another good night last night, by the way. Another winning night for the Otter, if you are not keeping track at home. The Otter hit, he lost his parlay, and he lost on Oklahoma State, but he hit on Villanova. He hit on Penn State. He hit on Providence. He hit on Vanderbilt. So he was 4-2 last night. Another winning night for the Oddfather. I'll tell you what, I'll take those 4-2 nights all the time. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the promo code Baton Rouge. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Bonus issued as free bets. Opt-in required. One free bet issued based on amount of initial losing NBA bet. Eligibility, wagering, and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms. Licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-426-2537. All right, Muse. I'm going to run through my starting lineup here. I'm ready for it. People keep asking, what do you think the starting lineup's going to be? What do you think about the rotation? I'm ready to do it.
Okay.
Can you maybe set the mood for us here, Muse?
Sure, I got you. No, I got you.
Give me a little baseball music.
Got you.
I'd like a little baseball music if you could. Some baseball music. You went with Todd T.
I did.
Back home in Omaha.
Back home in Omaha.
I mean, Muse, it's February.
Which point?
That's a little aggressive.
You sure?
I mean,
I like it.
June would be a wonderful time.
Okay.
I could even go Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, like tournaments announced?
Yes, regional sites have been announced.
Clean slate coming up, though, Matt. Everybody's looking for Omaha.
I get it. It's just, it feels kind of aggressive, right? I mean,
okay.
Todd T. Look, Todd T there at the ballpark in Omaha that I still call TD Ameritrade. What do they call it now?
The Schwab, Charles Schwab. The Schwab.
Yes, I'm still going to go with TD Ameritrade. Anyway, with respect to Mr. Schwab. Anyway, yeah, I don't know that Todd T is the right play. Okay. I don't know that that's right. You've got something else for me?
Yeah, here.
Give me a little baseball music.
Gotcha.
Well, set the mood. It's opening weekend at the box. Look, I love the Counting Crows.
They're a great band, man.
Terrific. Again, but you're going with the Omaha theme here.
Well, right.
So it's
that's the goal.
It is the goal, but it's February.
Okay.
You know, we got a matter at hand, which is, you know, you going and freezing your T. Heine off, sitting on a metal bleacher at the ice box this weekend.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think there's probably something more appropriate we could use than the Counting Crows right now.
Okay,
so,
I got you. I got what. Yeah.
Yes,
I got you.
You know.
I'm sorry.
Let me hear it.
I got ahead of myself.
Okay. What do we have? Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Is that right?
There it is.
That's,
okay. That's exactly
John
what
Fred.
I
You want a John Fred?
That's former Catholic high school freshman baseball coach.
Where?
Callahan! John Fred and his Playboy band. Okay. We all know Friday night starting pitcher is going to be Paul Skeens. Muse, I'm going to throw you a curveball. Call that a pun. You know what I mean? I need John Fred a little louder.
A little louder?
A little louder on John Fred. I think Riley Cooper's going to start game 2. And I'll tell you why I think they're going to do this. And Chase Shores is going to be your Sunday guy. I think they're going to go Skeens, Cooper, Shores. Eventually, Thatcher Hurd is going to take that number 2 spot. But remember, where does LSU play in the midweek in a couple of Tuesdays?
Maybe the University of Texas at Austin.
That would be in the University of Texas at Austin. So I believe we're going to see Skeens, Cooper, Shores to start here. And Hurd will be the midweek guy because you want Hurd to pitch against Texas in a couple of weeks. Eventually, by the time they get to conference play, Hurd will be in the weekend rotation. But Cooper also gives you a lefty.
Lefty in the rotation.
Yeah, lefty in the rotation. Jay's meeting with the media tomorrow.
Yes.
So I'm curious if he announces all of this. But with all the conversations I've had, that's my best guess. I think where he's leaning right now. Could always change. Maybe he's listening to this right now and he goes, "I'm gonna stick it to that Scone guy. I'm gonna change this up on you." But anyway, I think Riley Cooper is gonna get the ball on Saturday. So Skeens, Cooper, Shores. We've talked about this a good bit. I think Brady Neal's going to be your opening day catcher. We've talked about that since forever. I don't think that's changing. I think Brady Neal's going to catch opening night. And I think Milazzo will – I think the plan is still what I've said all along. Milazzo will be a defensive replacement. Trey Morgan at first, no surprise. Muse, I'm going to agree with something you said a few weeks back.
Okay, what you got?
I think Gavin Dugas will start at second base on opening night. I think you will see a rotation there with Dugas, Napolt, the VCU transfer, and Gavin Guidry. And I think Gavin Guidry is ultimately going to win that job. He's going to be the everyday second baseman, and next year he's going to be your starting shortstop.
For sure, shortstop.
But yes. I do agree with you, I think, on opening night that we'll see Gavin Dugas there at second base. Twomey Tanks at third. We know Jordan Thompson will play short. We're going to see Dylan Cruz in center. All this is very obvious. So the question is, what do you do in the outfield? What do you do at DH? We're going to see Kling in right field. He has done nothing to disappoint. This was something I was told early that was a likely possibility, and he has not disappointed in any way. I think Kling is going to be your opening day starter at right field, and I think Braden Joubert is going to earn a start in left field on opening night, which means Pearson on the outside looking in. But don't misunderstand. He's going to play a ton, and I think ultimately those guys will rotate, and we'll see who wins the jobs there, the everyday jobs in the outfield. But Joubert, from what I understand, and you've seen him use, you could tell me, but he's apparently slimmed down a little
bit.
He's picked up his foot speed, maybe a better option in the outfield than he was a year ago. And Kling, they're thinking we just read the Baseball America list. Kling's going to be a first rounder most likely next year. So Kling in right, Joubert in left, Cruz in center. We know that. And DH, I think we're going to see Bear Jones DH.
It's exactly who it should be.
He's going to be out there mashing baseballs. They got tons of options. There's no shortage of options. But they got to find a way to get all these young guys on the field, get them ABs, and I think that's how they're going to line it up on Friday night out of the box. Thoughts? Agreements? Disagreements? What do you think?
I really like the Bear Jones thing. I mean, he's been the most impressive freshman hitter to me in the preseason period. I mean, Paxton Kling had an absolute massive fall. He was tied for the team leading homers in the fall. But Bear Jones is just... Every time I've been out there, he's hit a ball over the fence. way over the fence. He hit the scoreboard in right that no one can ever hit. He did it. He's a righty. He was opposite field.
It's where I'll give Jay a lot of credit. It would be very easy, especially early, just to lean on your veteran guys that have been around a long time. But the guys that have earned it, he's going with the guys that have earned it and have earned the opportunity to play. And so I think that's what we're going to see this weekend. So Pearson surprised me a little.
He'll get in there, though.
He'll play, no doubt. I'm curious to see how Joe Bear looks in left. You can always go hide an outfielder in left. But if he keeps smashing the baseball, it's a guy that's a 20-homer guy. You got to have him in your lineup. Mm-hmm. And I think he's going to find a way to be in the lineup. So. But keep an eye on I'm most interested in second base. That's going to be a revolving door. They're going to get all those guys playing time out there. But I think ultimately Gavin Guidry, by the time you get to conference play and into the meaningful ball this summer, I think Guidry's going to be your everyday second baseman. So it's going to be interesting to watch it all. And it starts on Friday night out at the box. And then in several months, Muse, we can start playing.
I'm cranking it up.
We'll start playing some Todd T.
On Memorial Day.
Play some Todd T. All right, it's after further review. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers. Quick break. We'll go around the SEC, and then Taylor Calandro in about 15 minutes. Don't you move.
AFR.
Brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Segan near Airline. LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Buy local, shop local over at Clegg's Nursery. I'd also recommend, you can always look for their weekly ads for specials and things like that. Also, check out their Facebook page. They do a really good job, Clegg's does on their Facebook page. Whenever they get shipments of new flowers or new plants or different trees, whatever it may be, or if there's a product, they do a great job of letting you know when they show up. Like the Taiwan cherries are in right now, $29.99 each at all locations. You can go check those out. They've got Peggy Martin roses at Clegg's right now. So you can get by any of the Clegg's Nursery locations and pick them up. They have saucer magnolias. Go check them out. Any of the 4 locations of Clegg's Nursery, where they're also partnered with True Value Hardware Store. Anything you'd find at a True Value Hardware Store, you'll find at Clegg's Nursery. So it is a great opportunity to buy local, shop local, and go see our friends at Clegg's Nursery.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off new 2022 Ram 1500s. 2022 Ram 1500 trucks on our lot now with $10,000 off MSRP. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrell with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Saturday, February 25th, 7 p.m. The Bulls, Bands, and Barrels Tour at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center. Presented by Jerry Lane Chevrolet. Edge of your seat excitement with bull riding, barrel racing, ultimate bullfighting. With a live performance by Bailey Zimmerman. With Timothy Wayne. Plus 2-time PBR World Champion Chris Shivers. And Brinson James, the entertainer. Tickets and information at bullsbandsandbarrels.com. Saturday, February 25th. Lamar Dixon Expo Center at 7 p.m. Presented by Jerry Lane Chevrolet. The #1 Chevrolet dealer in Louisiana.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them. Because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together,
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Hey, congratulations to Kim Mulkey, named Wednesday Naismith Coach of the Year, late season watch list. Last year, in year one, when she was 26-6, she won the AP Coach of the Year, and justifiably so. I mean, the turnaround they had last year was incredible. And to be sitting here at 23-1 right now with 4 regular season games remaining, she deserves to be on every one of these lists possible. It's just incredible what Kim Mulkey has done in less than 2 full seasons in Baton Rouge. No surprise at all that she's on this list, and we'll see if she can take home more hardware. But of course, bigger fish to fry for the women's basketball team. LSU South Carolina, by the way, the game on Sunday. And this was our poll question on Monday. Did we ever see the final results? Do you know what they were? Yeah, look at it, because this is our poll question on Monday. Was did you watch? Did you watch the LSU South Carolina women's basketball game? How about this? It was the most watched NCAA women's basketball regular season game since 2010. It averaged 1.6 million viewers, peaked at 1.7. So that in and of itself is not a massive number. Like the 1.7 million viewers isn't going to blow you away. But when you consider it was the most watched regular season women's basketball game in about 13 years, that's pretty incredible and deserves a huge attaboy. So it wasn't just us talking about that. It's the star power of Kim Mulkey, South Carolina defending champs. The fact that it was on Super Bowl Sunday, it was a Sunday when a lot of people could watch. So a lot of things came together for that game, and it drew a relatively huge audience. You have it? Yeah?
Yeah, it was 172 votes, and 61% said yes.
Did watch. Okay, so 60-40. So 60-40, okay. See, man, 4 more regular season games for LSU for the women, as they'll then move toward the postseason. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Love telling you about our friends over at Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. It's the gang. It's Terrell, that's Richard Tilley. That's all partners over at Hudco Roofing. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Had obviously some rainy weather come through yesterday, and then all throughout the week. Every time it rains, our phones ring over at Hudco, and I love telling you, do business with someone you know. Roof repairs, roof replacements, no matter if it's commercial or residential, from the smallest repair job to the largest roof replacement. Maybe you're a property manager for a commercial, residential, or commercial building, or have commercial properties, and you manage a lot of properties. You have several clients like that. We'd love to always bid on jobs if you have the opportunity. Just give us a shout, and we're always, if there's options, we'll help you out. For example, there's a lot of businesses that have had issues that Hudco offers a coating product instead of a full-on roof replacement. We can coat your roof for about half the price and comes with a 20-year warranty. Got options, and we've got the people. Louisiana owned and operated from Baton Rouge to Bossier, New Orleans, and Lafayette. If you're in the 504, the 337, the 225, or the 318, go to the website, look at the top. You'll see all the phone numbers right there. Call the number nearest you, and we'd love to help you out. It's Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. All right, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Ole Miss Rebels.
A day after losing their running backs coach to Texas A&M, Ole Miss has added Kevin Smith as their running backs coach. He spent the 2020 and 2021 seasons with the Rebs. Also worked for Lane Kiffin at FAU. Last year, Kevin Smith was the running backs coach at the University of Miami. You might remember Kevin Smith. He played collegiately at UCF and then played 5 NFL seasons with the Detroit Lions.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Running back Ramon Jefferson has been granted a medical hardship waiver and has now been granted a 7th year of eligibility in Lexington. Comes at a good time as well. Of course, Chris Rodriguez off to the NFL. Cavassier Smoke is transferred to Colorado. So Vanderbilt transfer Ray Davis coming in, and Ramon Jefferson now with a 7th year of eligibility. Started his career at Garden City Community College, Maine, then Garden City Community College, Sam Houston State, and now Kentucky.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
A 26-year-old walk-on tight end who's a former active-duty U.S. Marine has joined Alabama's football team. Pretty cool story. Kobe McNeil, he's a transfer from Colorado State. He'll turn 27 in May. He's a redshirt sophomore, 6'5", 250. After high school, spent 6 years in the Marines, then joined the team at Colorado State, now transferring to Alabama. Alabama's tight ends coach Joe Cox has connections to Colorado State, which is how this relationship started.
The Florida Gators.
And Florida's home game against Ole Miss on Wednesday could see the return of junior forward C.J. Felder, who took a personal leave and has been gone from the team for roughly a month. Started the first 8 games of the season. In Felder's absence, it left the Gators without their primary backup at the forward spot. But Felder could be returning at a good time for the Gators. And when you look at the scores from last night, we mentioned that Georgia outlasted LSU. Vanderbilt beat South Carolina in Columbia 75-64. So Vandy now gets above 500 in league play at 7-6. Auburn blasted Mizzou in a gotta-have-it game 89-56. When you look ahead to tonight's slate in the SEC, Ole Miss is at Florida, as we mentioned. Number 1, Alabama at number 10, Tennessee, so a top 10 matchup. Tennessee actually a 3-point home favorite in that ball game. Kentucky visits the hump. Mississippi State a 3-point home favorite, and Texas A&M 3 and a hook against Arkansas there in College Station. There you have it. That is Around the SEC presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. You know where to find them, gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Whatever office equipment you need, they got it. They sell the Savin line, service all makes and models, and ask about interactive whiteboards. So many people had to become more efficient at working at home remotely and maybe interacting with clients remotely during COVID. Interactive whiteboards are perfect. Ask about them at Gulf Coast Office Products, gcopnet.com. All right, glad to have you aboard with us here. Cat Terrell will be here to start hour number 3. The Saints have started their contract purging today, reworking Marcus May's contract. Cat Terrell is going to be with us in hour 3. I want to go through what moves are probable and then what cuts are coming and how the Saints potentially replace a lot of those players. We'll talk about that with Cat Terrell coming up in hour number 3. All right, we'll knock out a break. Taylor Calandro, a little Bourbon Dictionary. Get your booze questions in, y'all. Bourbon Dictionary is next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. All right, y'all. Valentine's Day has passed. Baseball's coming up this weekend. Spring is in the air. It's crawfish time. Get by Rouse's. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. When you walk into Rouse's, go to your left. You'll see the seafood department over there. They got both live and boiled crawfish. So if you want live crawfish for your own boil, Rouse's can help. But if you want them boiled, Rouse's makes it easy. It is grab and go. They are bagged. They are tagged with the price. You go to their hot and boiled kiosk. You grab the bag of crawfish. You take it to the counter, and you check out. It's at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints, with locations darn near everywhere. You can find the location nearest you. You can still ship king cakes. You got a week. You got less than a week to get by Rouse's, or go to Rouse's.com. That's Rouse's.com. Crawfish and king cakes, one place. It's Rouse's. This feels like home.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Women who suffer from cardiac arrest outside of a hospital are less likely than men to receive life-saving CPR from bystanders. This is especially true for Black and Latino women. Be the one in your family to help change this statistic by taking the American Heart Association's challenge to learn CPR. Be the beat for someone you love. You can make a difference when it matters most. Go to heart.org today to take the CPR challenge and save lives.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Water.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrell with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrell and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Saturday, February 25th, 7 p.m. The Bulls, Bands, and Barrels Tour at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center. Presented by Jerry Lane Chevrolet. Edge of your seat excitement with bull riding, barrel racing, ultimate bullfighting. With a live performance by Bailey Zimmerman. With Timothy Wayne, plus two-time PBR world champion Chris Shivers, and Brinson James, the entertainer.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, let's do it. Wrapping up hour number one. We appreciate Taylor Calandro for jumping aboard with us to answer all your booze questions. You know how to get them in. You can email us, tweet us, jump in the Bayou YouTube chat, or text your question in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400. How are you, dude?
I'm good. What's happening?
Another day, man. It is a Whiskey Wednesday, and you know what? I'm fearful a little. With the weather kind of warming up a little bit, it feels like whiskey season is kind of coming to an end. What say you?
Check back in with me in 24 hours.
I love it, dude. Because I know
it'll be like 50 degrees tomorrow.
I know. I'm used to it. Well, tomorrow the high is 73. The low, I'm looking at it right here, low of 54. But then
Friday it's going to drop.
Yeah, Friday high of 54, low of 38. Saturday low of 34. Sunday low of 39. So I'm down.
So I've got a solution to this problem. You
Okay.
drink tequila today, tomorrow, switch to bourbon Saturday, Friday, Saturday.
I love it. I'm always down for that. Actually, I'm not going to do that at all. I'm probably just going to stick with bourbon. All right. So, you know the deal. We get to questions for Taylor, so get your questions in. Anything new?
We got a bunch of new local beer right now. Tons of new local beer. Nothing really on the spirit side, but a lot of new local beer.
Like what?
We got some new stuff from Gnarly Barley last week. There was a few different king cake beers that we got from local breweries. It's just a lot of new local stuff.
Okay. I love it. Very good. All right, let's get to questions. You know the drill. You can email your questions, Matt at 1045ESPN.com. You can tweet us at Matt Moscona. You can jump in the Bayou YouTube chat on the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel or text 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Here's one from Scott Pitaro, who said, ask Taylor if you have any Woodford Double Oaked. Does he agree it's a very solid, underrated pour?
Yes, we do. And yes, I absolutely agree with that. I enjoyed Woodford Double Oak a lot.
Explain the double oak process.
So basically, it's literally just what it sounds like. They're basically aging it two different types or two different barrels, basically, instead of just the traditional one barrel. They're finishing it in another barrel, basically.
So they age it, and then in one barrel, then move all the whiskey to another barrel to age it a second time.
I'm pretty sure that's how they do double oak. They do that type of thing differently everywhere, but I'm pretty sure that's how they do double oak.
Okay. Here's a couple of beer questions for you. This one from Sean Comiskey, who said I was a fan of the Shiner Cheer during Christmas. Any other good pecan ales or something similar to that?
Oh man, Lazy Magnolia Southern Pecan is the only thing I can think of off the top of my head. Now there are pecan beers. They're very prevalent in the fall. There's Clown Shoes makes a pecan pie beer, but they're usually it's fall seasonal. You don't really see a lot of pecan stuff this time of year. But I do know for a fact that Lazy Magnolia has a year-round pecan beer.
I know you're like we talk about this often. You're a beer guy. You're like a craft beer or big beer guy.
It was my first love. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
It was my first love, and then I moved. I have to do a little bit of everything, but beer is definitely my first love.
What did I see recently about like the Trappists not being on bottles anymore or something like that?
The monks themselves? I didn't know that. I didn't hear about that. I'll have to go look that up because that's interesting. But monks have been making beer for a super, super long time. But so you're saying like the monks don't want their themselves to be branded on the beers?
Maybe I saw this pop up not long ago, but it was like like they weren't going to have Trappists on there anymore.
Well, I mean, I know some like monasteries produce it,
right?
They call them. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into that. That's weird.
I don't think I made that up. That was probably something that popped up on Twitter or something like that not long ago. But it was interesting. It was interesting to me anyway.
That sounds interesting to me. That's super old world beer, and that's a very cool world to be in.
Let's see. Jake Freeman said, ask Taylor, which one should I pick? Old Elk 4-grain, Old Elk Wheat, or Old Elk Infinity Blend?
As a salesman, I'm going to tell you Infinity Blend because it's the most expensive. As just a person that drinks whiskey, I would probably say the 4-grain. I love the 4-grain. They're all three of those are really good. It's like 1A, 1B, 1C. But if I had to pick one, it'd probably be the 4-grain.
I would tell you, and I'll answer it too. Old Elk Infinity, I think retails around $150.
Yes.
That's one of the few bottles that I would tell you I would justify paying that retail for something that you could find on the shelf.
It's outstanding. I mean, like I said, all three of them listed are very good whiskeys. You can't go wrong with any of them.
Let's see. Wayne LaFosse said, ask Taylor, thoughts on Penelope barrel strength?
I love Penelope. We talk about Penelope frequently. And speaking of Penelope, I think we're about to get another case of the, what is it called? Takashi finish. We got a case of it around Christmas. But I think we're getting another case this week, so stay tuned. The last time we got it, it sold very quickly.
Was that the red or the orange label?
This is no. The orange label was Valencia.
Okay.
And there was another red one. The red one was barrel proof, but there was another special release they did, and I can't remember what it was. But the Takashi is the most recent one, which we got right around Christmas, but we are getting another case this week, I think.
Okay. I don't know if I should say this, but I did. I was lucky enough to score this week a bottle of the Blanton's, the red label Blanton's. The
red label is France, I believe.
No, it's Japan.
Japan.
Yeah.
So black label's France.
So what can you tell me about the red label Blanton's?
It between the red and the black label, and I believe they are 80 proof.
Yeah, it's definitely lower proof. Yes.
They're lower proof. They are my least favorite blends I've ever had.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it now.
I tried both. I tried the red and a black side by side a few years ago with a mutual friend of ours, actually.
Okay.
And it was one of the most underwhelming things I've ever had in my life. Now the Japanese one's cool because it's in Japanese on the label, but I don't know. It's not worth it to me.
Well, I'm
Sorry
looking.
to burst your bubble.
That's quite all right. Well, drinking whiskey's all about the experience, and I'm going to have that experience when I open the bottle. I'm looking forward to it.
You might love it.
I may. We'll see.
Yeah.
Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. We appreciate it, man. Thanks as always.
All right, Matt. Thanks.
All right, be well. We'll see Taylor coming up this Friday over at Tallulah. Remember, it's Take Me Out to Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Friday. If you're not going to be at the box for the season opener, come join us. Me, Taylor, we'll be out there. It's a free event. Just come on. He's going to have some top shelf whiskeys, some allocated whiskeys, free samples. We'll have beer from Rally Cap, so we're looking forward to this Friday at Tallulah.
AFR.
Man, I love telling you about Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. Love telling you about Michelli because, man, they're an awesome business that has been locally owned and operated for more than 70 years now, 76 years to be exact. And they do, first of all, phenomenal work. I mean, they're the nation's largest distributor of scales. We're going to Napa next week. We're going to fly. I tell you all the time, if you're flying, go to the airport. When you put your luggage on the scale, just look. You'll see you will see a Michelli sticker right there because they sell and calibrate those scales, just like they do for farmers for their crop or anything. If it's any type of precision measurement equipment, they calibrate it, they service it, they sell it. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement at Michelli.com, and Michelli's hiring as well. So if you go to the website, hit the careers tab, you can see all the job opportunities that are available, but also their veteran career portal as well. If you've served our country, Michelli wants to talk to you as well. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com.
I'm Chris Nakamoto, and here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. DOTD Secretary Sean Wilson announced his retirement from the agency today. This comes as speculation of a potential bid for governor grows. So far, Wilson, one of the only Democrats with name recognition, who has said he's weighing the idea of running. Wilson was appointed as the head of DOTD during Edwards' first term. I'm Chris Nakamoto from WBRZ. Watch more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Women who suffer from cardiac arrest outside of a hospital are less likely than men to receive life-saving CPR from bystanders. This is especially true for Black and Latino women. Be the one in your family to help change this statistic by taking the American Heart Association's challenge to learn CPR. Be the beat for someone you love. You can make a difference when it matters most. Go to heart.org today to take the CPR challenge and save lives.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Yankees right-hander Frankie Montas will have shoulder surgery next week and miss most or all of the 2023 baseball season. NBA, LeBron James expected to return from ankle soreness tonight when the Lakers host the Pelicans, 10 Eastern, ESPN TV. The Lakers, 13th in the West, currently 2.5 games out of the final play-in spot. If LA does make the postseason, its run will probably be short, believes our Jay Williams.
You have LeBron James playing through this sore foot. I do continue to question the health of Anthony Davis and whether he can get back to playing at a top 5 level in the league. And I think as these pieces are better pieces than what they had before, I still see this team being, an 8 seed, a 7 seed who goes out or has an exit in the first round. Or most they'll ever get is to Western Conference semifinals. I still don't see them being a contender.
Jay of Keyshawn, J-Will, and Max. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports Jaguars receiver Calvin Ridley applying to the NFL today for reinstatement. He was suspended at least the 2022 season on March 7th after an investigation found he bet on NFL games while he was away from the Falcons. Commissioner Roger Goodell will determine whether he returns to the field.
We all know the game isn't over till it's over. So next time you need parts for your car, don't call it quits. Go to eBay Motors. They have 122 million parts to take your car into overtime. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
Let's ride.
Number 2. Off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Muso? We gotta get some for. Oh, I know what we could do. I got it. I already got it. So Jacob Beck as well. We're gonna get a line from Beck, like the musician Beck. Well, maybe like get crazy with the cheese whiz or something like that. From the song Loser. Yeah. Well, how do you feel about that? Do people call you Beck or do they call you Jacob?
People in high school used to call me Beck, but because I have a twin brother as well, so that was
Yeah.
So
Fun fact, right?
Yeah.
Fun fact. Fun fact. I've known Jacob Beck. How long? Well, you were just a wee lad.
I remember. We were.
You're a little kid.
Yeah.
Little kid.
We were at Jazz Fest, I believe.
I don't remember that at all.
I remember the first.
There's probably a good reason I don't remember Jazz.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. All right. You can thanks. So Jacob Beck is training here. He's joined our staff here at 104.5 ESPN. Muse is training him on the audio board. Paul will train him on the video board. So look forward to having him around a little more. But so what year would that have been? 08? 09? Who did we see at Jazz Fest? Do you remember?
Jam. I remember seeing Pearl Jam.
Okay. So this would have been, you were there?
Yeah, well, we were.
I think that was 2000. That had to be spring of 2010.
Seems right.
Yeah. So how old would you have been in the spring of 2010?
13 years ago. I'm 26, so.
You were 13.
13.
Half a lifetime ago.
Wow.
How about that? A wee lad. Just a wee lad. I do not remember you being there at all. I mean,
yeah.
Whoop. Anyway.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, it was a great concert. Yeah, it was great. Okay, so welcome. We gotta get Beck there a drop for him for the intro. I was gonna say we could use "I'm a loser, baby," from Loser, but then that would be rude. But that's pretty typical of me. And there's the new guy, and I call him.
You gave me Barbie Girl.
Yeah, well, you deserve that.
I know.
You deserve that.
I did.
Okay, we know the story there.
Said I don't
Jacob,
care.
unless if there's something else you want. If there's a drop you want, you just let me know. But otherwise, I think we just go with Get Crazy with the Cheese Whiz.
I mean, I like it, yeah.
Okay.
Executive decision.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so every year before a season starts, we go around the room and we make our preseason predictions. I would like some NFL music if we could. We pick the division winners. We picked our conference champions and the Super Bowl champion, Paul, Muse, and I. And we face the music. We don't hide from our predictions. Right or wrong, we're always going to circle back. Baseball season, I think we were pretty atrocious.
Yeah, we were terrible. We were real bad.
Let's see how badly we did in the NFL. All right, Paulie, is the graphic you have just all of the results in one graphic?
Yes.
Okay. I would kind of like to... well, then I'll tell you what we'll do. You can put up, and then the YouTube audience and the TV audience will just see all the results. But for the radio audience, we'll go division by division. Okay. Let's see it, Paul. Here we go. All right, here we go.
That is just brutal.
No, all right. In the AFC Norris division, Muse and I each had Baltimore. No, I'm sorry. Paulie and I had Baltimore. Muse did have Joey B and the Cincinnati Bungles. So that a boy, Muse. Give yourself a little a ding. Do we get X's on that?
Sure, why not?
All right.
I mean, it was 0 for 2. I mean, we got to get 2 in there.
Okay. In the AFC South,
do any of us want to talk about this?
Well, that division was, come on, let's just be
real.
It's
fair.
Paulie and I each had a team that fired its coach and then hired its former offensive lineman that was a TV analyst. That didn't work out so well.
No,
that was me and Muse. I'm sorry.
I had that.
Well, I see. I keep thinking it's me. Okay. Paulie had the Tennessee Titans.
He was closer than us.
I was banking on Matt Ryan working out, man. Jacksonville, of course, won that division.
I just thought the Colts were the best team in a bad division, and I was wrong.
All right, well, we nailed it in the East. All right, we all had Buffalo, so the trifecta there does in fact hit. In the AFC West, Paulie and I each had the Chefs. Our friend Muse there had the Chargers.
It's me. I'm who Travis Kelce was talking about post game. It was
you're the one that nobody. You're the one who didn't believe
it. Was me. I just bet on him in the Super Bowl. But it was me.
Hey, we should have listened to Hester, the Bush League Bolts, man. He'll tell you.
Yeah.
Listen to that. He'll tell you. He loves his team, but he'll tell you about them Bush League Bolts. All right, so put it back up there, Paulie. So I had 2 right in the AFC. Paulie had 2 right in the AFC. Muse had 2 right. Okay, so we each went 2 for 4. Okay, all right. In the NFC, Paulie, what did we do? This goes to show you just how awful the NFC was this year. I mean, the Eagles were splendid. The rest of the NFC was just impossible. Okay, anyway, put it back up there, Paulie. Here we go. Starting in the North, all 3 of us had Green Bay. They didn't even make the playoffs.
I'm embarrassed. I'm just going to be honest.
Look, Aaron had won back-to-back MVPs.
I know. That was my logic,
Your option was Justin Fields, the Lions, or Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. The right play was still to think Aaron, wasn't it? I mean, until proven otherwise. Now, we were all dead wrong there. In the South, Paul and I, impossible homers, picked the Saints. Although we were still we're like a game away. Like we were all in it.
So close.
We were so close. I mean, it was only a game away. Do you realize that if Mark Ingram goes out of bounds, the Saints win the division?
Yeah.
All right, sorry, Mark Ingram stays in bounds if he doesn't go out of bounds. If Mark Ingram gets the first down, they run out the clock. The Saints win the game. They win the division. We're right, Paulie. We would have been right. The Saints would have been 8-9. They still would have had a losing record. We would have been right. Instead, Muse did, in fact, cash that ticket. The Bucks won the division. Muse had that one. Okay. In the NFC East, Paulie and I each had Dallas. Muse had the Eagles. So good on you, Muse.
I was proud of that one. I'm not going to lie.
Look, Dallas was 12-5.
Yeah.
It's not like this was and by the way, that's with our guy Cooper Rush leading the charge.
Please don't start this.
My bad. My guy,
not
Cooper
your guy
Rush,
either.
leading the charge.
You don't know him.
I know him well.
No, you don't.
We're dear friends and have
Never
been for
met
many,
him.
many years.
Stop lying to the audience.
I have been a big supporter of Coops. That's what those of us who know him well call him.
No one calls him that.
That's what those of us who know him well. Not nationally. Who calls him Coop now? You don't know him. Anyway, so I was not surprised at all to see Coop lead the charge the way he did. Because Coop's a winner. Bring Coop to NOLA, by the way. Hashtag Coop to NOLA.
That would be insufferable.
No, that's exactly what this show needs. Are you kidding me? If the Saints are going to suck, at least give me Cooper Rush. At least give me that bit. Are you kidding me?
That's fair.
That's Todd
fair.
Peterson on steroids is what that is right there. If you give me Cooper Rush to the Saints. All right, so and then in the what else do we have? Oh, the West. We all had the Rams. So we all just got suckered in going with the defending chumps, the Rams. Instead, of course, the 49ers went 13-4, won that division with ease. So, Paul, you and I went 0-4. We had the same picks across the board. Muse had the Bucks and the Eagles, so Muse went 2-4. So good on you, Muse.
Thank you.
Super Bowl picks.
Maybe this is where the embarrassment actually comes in.
Okay. I had the Packers and the Chiefs. So I nailed half the Super Bowl. I did have the AFC champion.
We'll give you a ding.
Thank you. Paul, you had the Packers and the Bills. A swing and a miss. You okay over there, Muse?
I think we lost our hotkeys.
Awesome.
We did.
Love it when that happens.
Yeah.
So then just make a buzzer sound.
Bah! That was more of a Colucci horn, actually.
Muse, you and Paulie were in lockstep. There we go. Right. You and Paulie were in
I didn't even
lockstep.
click anything.
As you had also the Bills and the Packers in the Super Bowl. So you went over. It was, of course, the Chiefs and the Eagles. So I was the only one who had one of the Super Bowl teams. None of us had the Eagles. And we all had Green Bay winning the Super Bowl, didn't we?
Yeah, I did.
I had Buffalo winning.
Oh, that's right. Muse and I had Green Bay winning. Paulie had Buffalo winning. So none of us actually picked the Super Bowl winner. But I am going to congratulate myself for at least having one of the teams in the Super Bowl because I need to congratulate myself after my horrible NFC predictions. Although I'm not super mad about Dallas and the Saints because
that was close.
The Saints were close for a different reason. I thought the Saints were actually going to be good. It was just the division was historically bad. But the Dallas one, that wasn't a terrible pick. Philly just had a phenomenal year, and congrats to them for the phenomenal year. All right. Anything else up there? Is there anything else we missed? Did we pick the wild card teams, or did we pick playoff teams or anything?
We didn't pick them, but I put them up there.
You put them up there. Where do you have the Super Bowl winners that we chose, or did you not put it up there?
So the winners are on the left, the losers are on the right.
Oh, got it. Okay, so that's how you put it there.
Okay.
So I was wondering, okay, because you and Muse each had Bills, Packers, and you had them flipped. Okay, so you had the Bills winning. Muse had, man, if only I had picked the Chiefs to beat Green Bay. Could have at least had that. Anyway. Hey, look. Say it all the time. Every show is recorded. It is public record. We cannot hide from anything, including our awful picks, like when Paul and I miss literally every single division winner in the NFC. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Speaking of the Saints have hired an offensive assistant. I want to talk about that when we come back. Overrated, underrated is coming up here in just a bit. Cat Terrell in 45 minutes. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. 28 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings, ice-cold draft beer, full-service bar, sports on TV. Tonight and every Wednesday, trivia at both locations. 7:30 at Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock at Nicholson. So, get on by. Get your team together. Remember, every team gets to spin the prize wheel, so even if you don't win a round, you still get to spin the prize wheel, so every team will win something. Maybe it's free food from Pluckers. Maybe it's an Amazon gift card. Maybe it's something from another great retailer around the Baton Rouge area. it's at Pluckers. Tonight and every Wednesday is trivia night at both Pluckers locations. Now, remember, y'all, Baseball at the Box returns on Friday. Remember, all season long, before or after every LSU baseball game, great spot to grab a bite to eat. Or if you don't have tickets and you want to go avoid the cold, you can watch at either Pluckers location. Nicholson, Bluebonnet, dine and carry out or delivery Pluckers. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on select new 2022 Ford F-150 trucks. $10,000 off plus 0% financing. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrell with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrell and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Saturday, February 25th, 7 p.m. The Bulls, Bands, and Barrels Tour at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center. Presented by Jerry Lane Chevrolet. Edge of your seat excitement with bull riding, barrel racing, ultimate bullfighting with a live performance by Bailey Zimmerman. With Timothy Wayne, plus two-time PBR world champion Chris Shivers, and Brinson James, the entertainer. Tickets and information at bullsbandsandbarrels.com. Saturday, February 25th, Lamar Dixon Expo Center at 7 p.m. Presented by Jerry Lane Chevrolet, the #1 Chevrolet dealer in Louisiana.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
The best kept secret in
Had a whole top diamond in the bottom rose gold. Yo, we about to start an epidemic with.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Let me check it real quick. Hang on. Talk amongst yourselves. I got a Nike app notification.
Oh, dear Lord. I should have known. Man, too bad I wasn't playing Air Force Ones. That would have been even better.
It's the wrong Nelly song.
I know. God, that would have been a happy accident, though.
Oh, by the way.
Yeah?
I entered for the draw today for the Air Jordan 1 High Top 85s. I wasn't picked.
I'm sorry.
I'm a little bummed. I am. But, so yesterday for Valentine's Day, Erica did get me so it's a wine glass, which on it says... And I will always love you, like
Whitney Houston.
It's like spelled out.
That's
I like E-I. That was good. She got me like a quarter zip to wear when we go to Napa next week.
Love quarter zips.
And then she got me 2 pair of sneakers.
Carrie is right. You have a problem.
I didn't buy them. She bought them. This is one of them. I love these. So they're suede. I don't know if you can see the gray suede right here. The camera probably doesn't show it too well, but the gray part is suede. The top part is leather. You got your gum sole and you got your navy check. I love them. They're so
You have a couple pairs that blend navy and gray, and it's a really good look. Like those two colors go together very, very well.
It's hard to see. I think it's hard to see on the camera, isn't it, Paulie? I don't know if you. Well, I just don't know if you can tell the color that way. And of course, I'm rocking my Dead Soxies as always. Best socks in the world.
Respect.
My whole drawer, my whole sock drawer is like Dead Sox doesn't even they don't advertise, but I love them. I mean, I buy their socks all the time. I love their socks. Just use promo code Matt, by the way. I think they'll save you 30% if you use promo code Matt. That code's active still, so MATT.
Oh,
save
okay.
30.
Well,
Yeah, save
I'm
30.
going to get socks tonight.
Save 30%. Their LSU socks are awesome too.
I have a pair.
Do you have the?
I have a couple pair, I think.
They've got some like some Fleur de Lis pair as well.
I don't have those. I think my dad has those actually, though.
They're really good. So Erica got me these, and then she also got me a pair of G-Nikes Forces. They are extra too. I ain't gonna lie to you, they are extra.
So you're wearing those tomorrow?
They're a little more springtimey with the color scheme, but I don't care. I'm inclined to wear them tomorrow.
I mean, I kind of want to see them
and not wait. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
Pawn part of your problem off. Like she bought them, you'd have bought them. You know, you would have bought them. If you saw them, you'd have bought them.
Which point?
My point is, you got a problem.
Oh, I didn't buy these shoes though.
But you would have.
But did. Interesting. Okay. The Saints have hired a new assistant. They announced the Saints on Wednesday announced the hiring of a handful of assistant coaches. A lot of them we already knew that had been hired, but the Saints just made the formal announcements today. So if you go look at their Twitter, there's just like this slew of like welcome tweets. It's like, welcome Joe Woods, defensive coordinator, as to the Saints. Here, you can pull these up. Let's scroll through them all together. Joe Woods welcomed as the defensive coordinator. Kevin Carberry as the assistant offensive line coach. That's the new one. I'll come back to him in a second. Todd Grantham, formally introduced there as the defensive line coach. Clancy Barone, who I want to be his best friend now. As we determined last week, Clancy Barone is actually the real living Marlboro man. And Marcus Robertson is the new secondary coach for the New Orleans Saints. So 5 new assistants the Saints formally welcomed today. The one that we didn't know or had not been reported yet was Kevin Carberry. Just as a quick kind of catch-up, if you're not familiar, Kevin Carberry came to New Orleans from L.A. He was the offensive line coach with the Rams a year ago. He was with the Rams from let's see. He was with the Rams, and prior to being with the Rams, he was with Dallas, Washington, and he was the Stanford run game coordinator. So he joins now after 2 years with the Rams. He joins the Saints, where he will be Doug Marone's assistant. So remember, Doug Marone, of course, former Jacksonville head coach. Doug Marone was hired back by the Saints a year ago as the offensive line coach, and they had Zach Strief as the assistant offensive line coach. Sean Payton hired Zach Strief to be his full-time offensive line coach in Denver, so the Saints needed an assistant. Enter Kevin Carberry. The weird thing with Carberry is he is essentially the Rams version of Dan Rauscher. He's the fall guy. The Rams offense took a big step back this year. The Rams took a big step back this year after winning Super Bowl 56, and so they fired their offensive line coach. The odd thing is, of course, they were replacing Andrew Whitworth, but Rob Havenstein, their right tackle, is the only starter on the offensive line that played in every game. The other 4 spots on the offensive line for the Rams this past year all had at least 3 different starters throughout the course of the year. All of the other 4 positions had at least 3 starters throughout the course of the season. So it was a mash unit. It was awful in LA this year, and they made Kevin Carberry, their fall guy. He played in the NFL. He's only 39 years old, so a young guy who played in the NFL, played major college football, and has now been a coach both at the major college level and in the NFL. So a lot of experience. If you look at it, I would actually say that Carberry is he's certainly a more experienced line coach than Zach Strief. So Strief played in New Orleans. We know all that. But Peyton brought him here, and so it's fine that Peyton took him away, and the Saints did kind of upgrade. And to be perfectly honest, I am more excited about the Saints purging this staff. And I don't mean to say that, I want these guys to not have jobs or not working, but it's just more so they were holding on to the Sean Payton era. They were just trying to maintain what they had. And it's just, you're asking somebody to be someone they're not. You're asking Dennis Allen to run Sean Payton's organization, to run Sean Payton's team. And that didn't work. So let him make his own decisions and let him succeed or fail with his guys, with his staff, with his players, all that stuff. Like, for example, many of us were more bullish on Jameis Winston than Andy Dalton. Whether you thought Jameis could ever be a star again or not is sort of irrelevant. Andy Dalton, the offense was atrocious this year with Andy Dalton. I wanted to see them give Jameis another go, but it was very clear that Jameis was the guy that Sean Payton wanted and not who this staff wanted. This staff brought in Andy Dalton. This staff favored Andy Dalton, so they played him. So whether it's players, and personnel or staff members, I'm more interested in seeing the Saints move on from Sean Payton. Stop trying to retain the thing that you had that you don't have anymore. That is gone. I mean, as a matter of fact, Sean Payton, and this is the type of thing. Sean Payton was on was it Mad Dog? Sean Payton was on Mad Dog Radio at the Super Bowl, and he was asked. Mad Dog asked him. Or I don't think it was Mad Dog, but it was on Mad Dog Radio, and he was asked if Sean Payton had considered coming back to the Saints. Give a listen.
Was there ever a thought about going back to New Orleans? That was out there.
Yeah, and look, it's a trickier one because it involves someone that I've hired, Dennis Allen, and we've worked together on 2 different stints. But I think in the end, for me, it was looking really closely at these teams, and then there was everyone's waiting to see what happens in Washington, and there was some interest from some potential ownership groups that are going to be bidding on, that currently have bid on that team, that were getting ahead of the game saying,
wow,
hey, if we get awarded this team, would you? And so there were a lot of different things at play.
That's interesting.
Right? And that's a place that's had great tradition. Like when I came into the league, Adam, my first 2 years were Philly.
Of course, yeah.
My next 4 years were New York Giants.
So you know all about that.
And then my next 3 were the Cowboys. My whole entire NFL career prior to New Orleans was NFC East.
So all of that, the primary part of that matters is Sean Payton saying, yeah, I would have considered a return to New Orleans, but they had a guy in place in Dennis Allen, so it was tough, which is fine. But ultimately, the hanging on to the legacy of Sean Payton in New Orleans is what has to stop. Like, you've got to sever that. Like, you've got to move on from that and carve your own path in whatever direction is going to be next. Listen, there's times where it's been successful, where you've seen a succession plan that's worked. The 49ers going from Walsh to Seifert worked. That happens at times where you see that succession, and it does work. And there's times where it's like it is right now, and it doesn't work. So whatever it may be, let Dennis Allen, sink or swim on his own accord. And y'all know how I feel about it, but the more he can sort of bring in his own people and make this his own, the less of an excuse you have about transition. So Kevin Carberry, new member of the New Orleans Saints staff as the assistant offensive line coach. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by Traction Sports. TractionSports.com. TractionSports.com. Man, I'm so fired up. Y'all have heard me talk about Traction forever, of course, with Terrell being here. But it's not just Terrell. It's Mac Chuili. It's Tevin Moten. It's Bo Lowry. The director of sports medicine for LSU is part of Traction Physical Therapy as well in the clinic right there. You go into Traction. It's pretty incredible. Like, you go into Traction, and you look at all the pictures on the wall and the jerseys on the wall, and you see all these professional athletes in every different sport that's trained. And maybe that's intimidating for some, but really what you should think about it is the way Mac built Traction was to have this asset, not only for Baton Rouge, but for all of South Louisiana. I mean, there's people coming from New Orleans, from Lafayette, from all over the place that train at Traction. And when your son or daughter goes to train at Traction. If it's performance training, if it's skill training specifically for their sport, they're being trained and coached and worked with by the same trainers, the same experts that work with pro athletes when they're in town. That's Traction. Go to TractionSports.com, TractionSports.com. They got a membership offering for 4 days a month, 8 sessions a month, or an unlimited number of sessions a month in performance or skill training for your son or daughter, no matter their sport. It's TractionSports.com. They're right there on Burbank. You know where Traction is. TractionSports.com, TractionSports.com. And their Mardi Gras baseball camp, by the way, next week. If you're looking for something to do with the kiddos next week while they're off of school for Mardi Gras, Traction has a Mardi Gras baseball camp. You can get more info at TractionSports.com. TractionSports.com. All right. It's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. We'll do a little overrated, underrated. Muse will have Tigers in the pros. Cat Terrell 30 minutes from right now. We got a McShay mock draft coming up. Pluckers Trivia to get to. We got so much to do, and glad you're hanging out. Stick around. It's AFR presented by Pluckers.
AFR.
Toyota in Opelousas is spreading the love this month with amazing deals. Get 3.99% financing on new 23 Highlanders, and as always, you'll never pay over MSRP. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
Women who suffer from cardiac arrest outside of a hospital are less likely than men to receive life-saving CPR from bystanders. This is especially true for Black and Latino women. Be the one in your family to help change this statistic by taking the American Heart Association's challenge to learn CPR. Be the beat for someone you love. You can make a difference when it matters most. Go to heart.org today to take the CPR challenge and save lives.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrell with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrell and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Saturday, February 25th, 7 p.m. The Bulls, Bands, and Barrels Tour at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center. Presented by Jerry Lane Chevrolet. Edge of your seat excitement with bull riding, barrel racing, ultimate bullfighting with a live performance by...
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
That reminds me, Tigers in the Pros for minor league baseball season coming up. We'll be sure to get some Antoine Duplantis updates there with the Brooklyn Cyclones.
He doesn't play for them anymore. Remember, he got called up to Double A.
That's right. And I demanded that he be sent back down.
You don't run that organization.
Did he get sent back down?
No. I think he got traded, actually,
yeah,
which
see?
is worse.
Bingo. They traded him. That's right. You don't get to leave the Cyclones. You don't get to rob me of this content.
We just have to wedge it into the show another way.
Are there any let's look at what is it? It's the Brooklyn Cyclones.
Brooklyn Cyclones.
Right. This isn't really good to do live on air, but we need to look at the Brooklyn Cyclones roster. I would assume after spring training, more of this will be determined. But
for sure.
Are there any LSU players?
I don't think
anybody we right? Nope, there are not right now. Not that I see anyway. We're just gonna have to adopt somebody, Muse.
I don't think we can do that.
No, we're gonna do that.
I mean,
it's my show. It's my damn show. I'll do whatever I want.
Okay.
We're gonna just adopt somebody, and somebody on the Brooklyn Cyclones is just gonna be included in Tigers in the Pros. I don't know who it's gonna be.
And unbeknownst to them, they're gonna get a lot of AFR mojo, which helps minor league baseball players.
That is true, but here's the downside: if we pick someone who's actually good and they do well, they're going to get promoted. And then what do?
That's true.
We're back in the same spot.
We just want to pick a scrub or something.
Somebody that's yes, someone that has not. Someone that's
He's got to play though.
That's not good enough to get promoted, not bad enough to get demoted. Someone that's just going to Crash Davis himself all the way through. Is this Double A?
This is Double A.
All the way through Double A for the rest of his life.
I love Crash Davis.
That's what we need.
Hey,
we need to find our Crash Davis.
So good.
That's what we need to do.
It's a great movie.
That's what we need to do. All right. It's after further review. This is about the time of the show where we do overrated, underrated. I want to take a quick moment, remind you about Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows door siding, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Love telling you about Brandon Holly and the gang. Look, the weather is going to be freezing again over the weekend, and you're probably going to notice a lot of air leaks, drafty windows. Do away with that forever. Expertly installed, measure twice, install once. That's what they do at Relief Windows, where they always give you exceptional customer service. That's the thing that sets them apart at Relief Windows. That's what Brandon Holly demands. He always says to me, Matt, when you're in business, you've got to be willing to spend your last dollar to make a customer happy. When that's the approach of the owner of the company, you know you're in great hands. That's Relief Windows. Windows door siding, Relief Windows, and ReliefWindows.com. All right, we will do Tigers and the Pros coming up shortly. Right now, though, we do this on Wednesdays. We call it Overrated, Underrated. Hit it, Muse.
Overrated or underrated?
All right.
I personally think he's criminally underrated.
Presented by Cellivate.
Nope.
I clicked the wrong one.
You did click the wrong one, Muse, and you are fired now. But that's okay. You can put up Cellivate. Shout out to my guy, Steve Colson. Cellivate's a great product, man. Get you some Cellivate. Remember when I used to open up the Cellivate?
Yes, I loved it. I kind of miss it. I'm not going to lie.
Get you some Cellivate. Cellivate's
great
awesome.
Sound.
Don't just hydrate. Cellivate. An energy drink that hydrates you, that's Cellivate. Like, seriously, go follow Cellivate on all social medias. Buy Cellivate. It's a great product.
Anyway, overrated or underrated?
Okay.
Scotch.
Cellivate.
No, we're not doing. Do not do that again.
Underrated.
That's not what I asked. It is though. It's great. I've had it. It's delicious. Scotch. Overrated or
Scotch. To be very honest with you, every single spirit that is expensive is overrated. To each their own. Enjoy what you do, and this is coming from someone that has roughly 200 bottles of whiskey at my house, and I'm telling you, it's overrated. It's a hobby. I enjoy whiskey very much. Now, I personally don't love Scotch. There are a lot of people that do, and there are many different types of Scotch. and you can have scotch that's 20, 30, 40 years old, and it's super expensive. You can find stuff that's more approachable as a price point. My point is, you can find things you enjoy that taste good, that give you the same benefit of scotch, that aren't at that price point and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I know it's overrated. Again, this isn't a thing that's, how does Matt feel about it? Does Matt like something? This is if something's overrated or underrated. I'm telling you, yes, scotch is overrated.
Overrated or underrated? Shinedown.
Underrated. Tremendously underrated band. I've seen Shinedown in concert multiple times. The energy they bring in concert. They're coming again, aren't they?
Soon, to the River Center.
To the River Center.
Right, yeah.
Go see the show. Shinedown, if you don't remember, was an early 2000s rock band that was around my Matt at Rock 93.7 days. And as a result, got to see Shinedown multiple times, got to meet them. They are, you will recognize a lot of songs that you may not even know that you recognize just because they had their moment where they were very popular. But I would love to go to that show when they're here. I hope they still have the great sound and energy that they did. A very, very exceedingly underrated band, Shinedown. Great rock band from the early 2000s.
Overrated or underrated? Pot roast.
Do people eat pot roast?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You just take a roast, you put it in a crock pot, and you let it cook all day? You let the meat kind of just get really tender and stuff?
Some gravy, mashed potatoes. Soul food, man.
Sure, let's just go properly rated on that one.
Right.
It's...
Not a pot roast guy, I get it.
I know it's not about a pot roast guy. It's you throw a pot roast in a pot and it's tender, but it's got to go with something else. It's got to have gravy. It's got to have potatoes. It's got to have. It's fine. It's
great on a
rated.
sandwich too.
It's properly rated. Yeah, properly rated.
Overrated or underrated? Something we do here often. A radio contest.
I mean, dramatically underrated. They're the best things in the world.
Okay.
I mean, marketing promotions departments that put those things together. The prizes are always awesome. You get to have a little fun participating. Who wouldn't want to do that? Of course. As great as they are, still they're like Eminem.
Yeah.
You know, one of the greatest of all time, but still underrated somehow. That's a radio station contest. Like the big game contest.
It was great.
We had the contest where you were guessing the score of the big game.
The big game.
And if you did so and you'd had your name drawn out of a thingamajig, you'd win $1 bajillion or whatever.
Some guy won $38, $3,800. I mean,
yeah, congrats to him. That's huge.
That's awesome.
Dude, just for listening to the radio, that guy won $3,800.
Pretty good.
Congrats. Doesn't suck to be you today, right?
Nope.
More people should listen to the radio and participate in the contest, right?
I agree.
That's what I'm talking about.
Same. Overrated or underrated? Nashville, Tennessee.
You know, I think Nashville is approaching the point where it will soon be overrated because it is becoming so popular that it is becoming in many ways commercialized. And that's when you start to lose the culture that made you very popular. So I hope that doesn't happen because I like Nashville. It's beautiful. East Tennessee or Central Tennessee is beautiful. I'm not a country music person, but that doesn't really matter. I think Broadway there is a lot of fun, but you can kind of tell Nashville's clean, affluent. There's a lot of great stuff in Nashville, but you can kind of tell it's becoming the place where everybody wants to go live in Nashville. And when everybody wants to go, and then it's like, okay, well, then it's losing it with the thing that made it great.
Loses its appeal, right?
It loses the thing that made it great. Yeah.
Last one, overrated or underrated? The microwave.
I mean, it's this is like another Eminem.
Really?
You know what I mean? It's if you fundamentally change the way people consume food, if you are that type of disruptive technology, when you make ovens irrelevant, when you can create an entire line of meal, the microwave dinner. I mean, take your cold pizza, pop it in the microwave. You know what I'm at for dinner tonight? A little Jenny Craig meal in a box. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw it in the microwave for about 3 minutes. Done. It means change the world. Microwave, underrated. Change the world. The microwave is like the TV and the Fig Newton. It's changed the world.
The Fig Newton.
Why are you laughing at a Fig Newton?
Because I
didn't. It's a delicious cookie.
I didn't think you were going there.
It's a delicious cookie.
It's good.
Fig Newton. That's what it is.
It's good.
All right.
That's overrated or underrated.
This is after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Pluckers. Again, trivia tonight at Pluckers. Got a lot going on tonight. You got the trivia at Pluckers tonight, and T-Bob and I will be over at Oliver Twist for scone and tea. So if you're not going to go out and play trivia or hang out at the house tonight, watch the Pells tonight. Pells at the Lakers tonight. A nice little game. Looking forward to that. You better believe it as we head toward the All-Star break. Come on, see us over at Oliver Twist, or watch scone and tea at on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. It's a 9 o'clock tip tonight. It's a late tip out west. All right, you still have Tigers in the pros when we come back to wrap up hour number 2. Cat Terrell in 15 minutes. Stick around.
AFR.
Man, I love telling you about New Orleans Flooring. The response to our friends over at New Orleans Flooring has been awesome as well, so thank you for that. But, I mean, really, it's just thanks to New Orleans Flooring. I mean, they're sensational. 2 locations, Metairie, of course, their New Orleans location, Metairie, and then on Airline Highway in Prairieville. So if you're in the greater Baton Rouge area, if you're on Airline, you go south, you pass the Walmart on your right, and then New Orleans Flooring is just past it. Go on in to the Prairieville location. Go see Terrell. Go see Big Sean. Tell them Matt sent you in. They're super friendly, and they'll take care of you. And you'll see what I tell you about. I mean, they got more than 1 million square foot of flooring in stock. And because they cut out the middleman, because they've got the flooring in stock for you, you can buy it today, and they can install it tomorrow. The funny thing is they say, yeah, no, we can legitimately install it tomorrow, but most people come in and buy it. They don't want it installed tomorrow because you got to move furniture and all that stuff, but you can. It's at New Orleans Flooring. Go to NOLAflooring.com. That's NOLAflooring.com. If you're a homeowner, maybe you're flipping houses, whatever it may be, you need flooring. You need New Orleans Flooring.
I'm Chris Nakamoto, and here's what I'm working on for my stories on WBRZ Channel 2 tonight. DOTD Secretary Sean Wilson announced his retirement from the agency today. This comes as speculation of a potential bid for governor grows. So far, Wilson, one of the only Democrats with name recognition, who has said he's weighing the idea of running. Wilson was appointed as the head of DOTD during Edwards' first term. I'm Chris Nakamoto from WBRZ. Watch more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
So Jacob Beck over there just informed me that Nike's re-releasing Tiger Woods' 2013 Nike, the golf shoe, the line that shook up the golf shoe market back in 2013. I don't like it. Yeah, I'm not buying this.
Which one is it? Can you describe it to me? Or, Jake, if you want to show it to me real fast, because I have the image in my mind. That's the one I was thinking of. Oh, come on, man. That's good. That's good. I like that.
No, I'm good.
Okay. All right, fine.
Here it is. For those who are, if you are listening, I'll describe it for you. If you're watching, here's the shoe. It's, it's a white shoe with the black swoosh. There's red tabs near the tongue. I don't really know how else to describe it. It's a very boring looking shoe. That does nothing for me. You said they're retailing at $240. Is that what you said?
I'm not paying that for it, but I like the shoe.
See, this is the point.
Looking like athletic shoe there.
This is the point that I was having this conversation earlier with Chuck P, because people are talking about my shoe obsession now and thinking I'm spending gobs and gobs and gobs of money. And even Chuck P said today, was like, yeah, I'm just not spending all that money on shoes. I'm like, Chuck P, like go to the Nike app and go to the last chance section, because they have great shoes on there that are already discounted and then discounted further. Like, I'm getting some shoes that are like, hey, they're $180. You see the red line through it, you buy them for $55. Like, okay, I can do that. I've done that plenty. Yeah, but these are ugly.
I'll wait for the Tigers to go on sale.
I'm not down with that. Yeah, I don't like them. They're okay. They're fine. Yeah, they're fine.
The Tiger logo on them.
$240?
No, I'm not paying $240.
No shot.
No, I'm not doing that.
No shot. Speaking of Tiger, Muso has Tigers in the pros. Give me Cyclone.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
See what I did there?
I got it. Frank Shirley, my boss.
Give me somebody.
Nice Christmas vacation reference.
Hey, give me somebody while I'm waiting.
So this is a really cool story, man. I like this a lot. I don't know if y'all have seen this or not. Alex Bregman is going to coach in the NBA Celebrity All-Star Game.
Oh, sweet.
This weekend. He's going to be an assistant coach under Giannis's brothers, and Lindsey Vonn, DK Metcalf, and Nicky Jam, who's a singer, along with rapper 21 Savage, will be on their team. You know who else will be on the team is Albert Pujols is going to be on Bregman's team in the NBA All-Star Game. Bregman told
That's Celebrity Game.
Yes, Celebrity Game. Sorry, NBA Celebrity All-Star Game. Bregman told USA Today Sports, quote, "I can't believe it. I remember the last All-Star game I went to was in Phoenix in 2011, watching Kobe Bryant win the MVP award and Shaq coming out dancing onto the court. The place was electric. It was so much fun. Man, I really wish I could play in this game, but I'm not allowed to."
Oh.
That is because the standard MLB contract prohibits baseball players from playing any other sport competitively. What is wrong with you, Major League Baseball?
Is this really competitive?
No, it's the NBA Celebrity All-Star Game. The fact that it's not just an Astros thing, it's an MLB thing, is further proof they hate their own sport.
Idiots.
But that's awesome that Bregman's going to coach in the game, man. That's really cool. So keep an eye out for that this weekend.
I wonder if he's a good coach.
I mean, I imagine he's a great hitting coach. I'm not so sure he's a great basketball coach, but we're going to support our guy.
Tell you, I've been the coach of the Red, Rock, and Blue All-Star Game before. I mean, you got a lot of egos you got to balance out there.
Yeah, man.
You know, guys aren't used to being told where to go, what to do, what position to be in, all that stuff. They're having some fun. It's hard to get all. I mean, you got to. Hey, you gonna tell Albert? Hey, yeah. Albert,
post up, Albert.
Ride some pine, Albert. But that, pop a squat, grab a towel and a Gatorade. You're donezo. You're donezo, Albert.
That's tough.
El Machina, La Machina, the machine.
Okay, I was like, that does not mean done. Yeah, I was confused there for a minute. All right,
not a machine.
It's a great commercial. Trendon Watford last night, 14 minutes for the Blazers in a losing effort. Shot 1 of 3 from the floor, 2 of 5. 2 of 5 from the free throw line, 4 points in all for Trendon, 3 rebounds and a steal. Got some golf for you getting underway tomorrow. The Genesis Invitational. It's Tiger Woods' tournament. Ben Taylor in the field from LSU. He will tee off at 9:02 Central Time, grouped together with a couple other Englishmen, Callum Tarrant and Danny Willett, a former Masters champion. Sam Burns in the field as well. Sammy B going off at 2:37 p.m. Central Time. Sam Burns paired with Englishman Terrell Hatton and Korean K.H. Lee. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. K.H. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. That would be a same-name puzzle on Wheel of Fortune. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. My son watches a lot of Wheel of Fortune. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. 2 locations in Baton Rouge, corporate in Bocage, and in the Mall of Louisiana. Realize you'd like buy a watch at Lee Michaels. You can bring it in anytime, and they will clean it for you. Absolutely, like a deep clean of your watch and jewelry anytime. There at Lee Michaels. They're just exceptional. The Lee Michaels experience, we talk about it all the time. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, the Saints purge has begun. Cat Terrell next.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. That's theantiagingclinics.com. Tell you all the time, you want to look or feel like your younger self, they can help at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Valentine's Day has passed, but all this month, they've got the great Valentine's Day specials, like $100 off lip filler and great other specials. They have the latest technology in the latest microneedling technology. If you want extreme discounts on microneedling, you get that this month at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and as I always say, a simple blood test. One simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate for hormone replacement therapy, which can have you feeling why can't I snap? Instantly like your younger self. Online, theantiagingclinics.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Women who suffer from cardiac arrest outside of a hospital are less likely than men to receive life-saving CPR from bystanders. This is especially true for Black and Latino women. Be the one in your family to help change this statistic by taking the American Heart Association's challenge to learn CPR. Be the beat for someone you love. You can make a difference when it matters most. Go to heart.org today to take the CPR challenge and save lives.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrell with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrell and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Saturday, February 25th, 7 p.m. The Bulls, Bands, and Barrels Tour at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center. Presented by Jerry Lane Chevrolet. Edge of your seat excitement with bull riding, barrel racing, ultimate bullfighting. With a live performance by Bailey Zimmerman. With Timothy Wayne, plus two-time PBR world champion Chris Shivers, and Brinson James, the entertainer. Tickets and information at bullsbandsandbarrels.com. Saturday, February 25th, Lamar Dixon Expo Center at 7 p.m. Presented by Jerry Lane Chevrolet, the #1 Chevrolet dealer in Louisiana.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting Jaguars receiver Calvin Ridley is applying to the NFL for reinstatement. He was suspended for at least the 2022 season on March 7th after an investigation found he bet on NFL games while he was away from the Falcons. Jacksonville coach Doug Peterson, GM Trent Baalke have said multiple times since acquiring Ridley they felt confident he'd eventually be reinstated by the commissioner. Ridley would add another layer of explosiveness to the Jags offense, believes our Keyshawn Johnson.
He's going to be able to stop on a dime and give some change. He's a significant route runner. He is a hands catcher and not a body snatcher. He's the type of guy that you want. He understands the route concepts. He understands how to play football at a high level. They certainly got a gem when they got Calvin Ridley.
Key of Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Tiger Woods played 16 holes, walked 18 in the Genesis Invitational Pro-Am today, his first public round of golf since last summer's British Open. He'll tee off his first round of the tournament with Justin Thomas and Rory McIlroy tomorrow at 3:04 Eastern on ESPN+.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, they're making things even easier to help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save on both. Learn more at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Thompson. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there. Make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. We're going to do a Todd McShay mock draft, a post-Senior Bowl, all that stuff, post-Super Bowl mock draft. That's coming up here in about 15 minutes from right now. Pluckers Trivia, bottom of the hour. The Saints' purge, the annual purge, began today. Marcus May has restructured his contract to help the Saints save some money. You know, they got about $55 million in cap space they got to clear so they can be within cap compliance and then some to sign their draft picks and sign free agents. Kat Terrell's got a great piece up right now at ESPN.com detailing exactly how they're going to do all of this, and she's good enough to join us here for a couple of minutes. Kat, thanks for the time as always. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. How proficient are you at this now, considering like you've got to do this number crunch every year?
I feel like every year I forget how to do it, and then I have to like reteach myself.
Okay.
It's really not that hard, but you always second guess that you're doing it wrong. But the funny thing is now, I've done it for so long that a lot of other reporters that cover the NFL like call me and ask me how to do it because their teams do it.
So crazy.
Yeah, it's very funny.
All right, so give us an example. So today Marcus May, right? They redid it. Explain how they did this with Marcus May today.
Well, that one is a little more complicated, but not that much. So with Marcus May, what they did is they already had a roster bonus built into his contract this year. So the difference between a roster bonus and a signing bonus, when you give a player a signing bonus, you give them the money, but it's on the books spread out over 5 years. So that's how the Saints have all these players with low first-year cap hits. a roster bonus, say a player was due $10 million in 2023, that entire figure would hit the cap in 2023. So they do this to put the roster bonus in, and then they convert it to a signing bonus. Then they spread it out. So with Marcus May, he had, I think, a $6 million roster bonus, and he already had almost all the way down to the vet minimum on his base salary. So they took the roster bonus, added another void year through 2027, spread that out over 5 years, and then saved like $300,000 by taking his base salary to the veteran minimum. I don't really even know why they bothered with that, but I guess you have to squeeze every single piece of money you can. I swear to God, it's like they look in the couch cushions when you get to about October. I don't know if anyone remembers last mid-season at some point, they restructured Deontay Hardy's contract, and now Deontay Hardy will probably not be on the team, so now they're going to have to account for him. But, hey, when you got to get through the season, you start looking anywhere you can to find money.
I'm looking at Marcus May right now, so he will have salary on the books against the Saints cap through 2027, even though technically he's really only under contract for 2 more seasons, which is...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, but that's pretty typical now. So they do these things called void years. So it basically is the same as a normal year when you put it into a contract in terms of you can use it to spread the signing bonus out, and that's why they do that. The downside is that when you do void years and their contract automatically voids, it's like they've been cut. So then all the years that you spread the signing bonus out that the player isn't on the roster basically comes into your wallet all at the same time. So if he ends up leaving after the 2024 season, they still have to account for $6 million in that remaining signing bonus, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Go read the piece at ESPN.com. Kat lays out how they'll restructure Cam Jordan, Marshawn Lattimore, Ryan Ramczyk, Taysom Hill, Alvin Kamara, Tyrann Mathieu, like a lot of those deals that they can do to find cap savings. I think the bigger question that people have is what players aren't going to be back as a result of cap savings. Let's start with the more significant ones. Guys like Andrus Peat, like Michael Thomas, like Jameis Winston. Why did these lay out the way they will?
Andrus Peat, I'll start with him because I feel like people want to hear the cuts rather than the math over the radio because I feel like it's hard for me to explain the math.
Of course,
when people can't see it. But hopefully they understood what I was saying. But Andrus Peat is one where it's definitely not a given either way. I feel like every year Saints fans want to cut Andrus Peat because of the injuries and everything. But he does have a very high cap number, and eventually the Saints are going to go looking for someone cheaper. So he's going to count $18 million against the cap this year. Basically, what they could do is if they did cut him, they could say he's a post-June first cut. So they could cut him, when the new league year starts. But they basically, what it does is you only have to account for the remaining part of the signing bonus. You only have to account for 2023 signing bonus portion. So that's $6 million versus $18 million or whatever. So it saves a lot of money against the cap. The downside is you have to carry their base salary until June 2nd. It's as if you waited until June 2nd to cut them. So they could save a lot of money by cutting Andrus Peat. However, the 2 post-June first cuts, if this happens, will probably be Jameis Winston and Thomas. Winston, I say that because, they have passed over this guy 3 or 4 times now. It just makes me wonder, how many times he's just going to let that happen. And the team understands that, I think, and they might, maybe mutually they'll decide that they need to part ways. But it's clear every year they try to find someone they think is better at quarterback, and they don't think he's the guy. So that is shown with the pursuit of Deshaun Watson and Derek Carr. So I wouldn't be surprised if Winston is not on the roster next year or this year. And then the other huge one is Michael Thomas. They restructured his contract in a way that makes it seem like he's gone. It even says in the contract notes I have on ESPN's roster management system that it was done with the intention of releasing him on the first day of the new league year. But, anything can happen. So who knows if they just decide, I guess, last minute that they're actually keeping him on after all. I don't know how that would work. I don't know why they would go through everything to make it look like they're cutting him and then change their mind. But those are the three guys that I would keep an eye on. I mean, I guess maybe a very outside chance they would cut Cam Jordan because of his age and cap number, but they have no one behind him. Yeah. So that would surprise me a little bit.
She's on Twitter at @cat_Terrell. Read her stuff over at ESPN.com. So I think you're right. Doing the math over the radio is tough. But I think there's two other
a lot of numbers.
It is, of course. But there's two, I think, really big questions that maybe loom that the average fan would want to know. Number one is, will the Saints have enough money to be able to spend in free agency, to either re-sign their players or to go pursue players in free agency they'd like to add?
To an extent, I think they will. It's not as bad as a couple years ago when they were $100 million over the cap, which even now sounds crazy. And they really didn't sign anyone in free agency that year. I think Nick Vannett, who ended up getting cut this year, and then Tano, and then I think the fullback. That was the only people they could afford. And so that was bad. They can free up the money. Obviously, they think they can, or else they wouldn't have tried to trade for Derek Carr. With Carr, what they would have done is his salary would have become guaranteed today, and they would have restructured it. So he only counted. I've already forgotten because I've mentally moved on from them trading for Carr and maybe signing him instead. Right. But it would have been less than $10 million instead of $30 million. But clearly, they're thinking that we can make it work, and Kai Harvey always makes it work. So they'll have some money, and they'll clearly try to get a quarterback in some way. But, the problem is they've restructured so many contracts that actually cutting players does not free up a lot of money. They have to restructure all of them again and hope yet again that the salary cap is going to take a big leap again next year.
Kat, so one more. So they'll have money to spend. We'll see how much. The other big question is, how do they get out of this cycle?
Well, they stopped going after players like Derek Carr, for one.
Yeah.
I think that their hope is that the salary cap jumps so much that eventually they will be able to cut some of these players that they've been doing this for years, and they can absorb the cap hit. The Falcons literally did it last year with Matt Ryan. I know everyone, the Falcons, so everyone was laughing at what they were doing. They cut Matt Ryan. They incurred this massive amount of dead money. No one thought they were going to be competitive, and they actually were more competitive than people thought, and now they have a ton of cap space. So, it can be done. They just need to get to a point, I guess, with the salary cap expanding and maybe the way they restructure these contracts, that they'll be able to take the hit. I mean, the problem is that a quarterback costs so much money. That was why they got into this mess, because they needed to pay Drew Brees, and they never found a quarterback in the draft. So if they can find their guy in the draft and get him on a rookie contract, that'll change everything. But if they keep having to go out in free agency and pay quarterbacks Drew Brees money, that's going to be a little tougher.
So draft a quarterback.
Draft a good quarterback. That's the key. They have not been great at that lately. Just imagine if they'd gotten Patrick Mahomes in 2017. I know. I'm sure people love it when I say that. But, it is crazy to think. It would have changed everything.
The entire outlook of the franchise would be different. There's no question. And honestly, Kat, you said they haven't drafted a good quarterback lately. I mean, they haven't drafted a good quarterback literally since Archie Manning.
They haven't taken a first-round quarterback either since then.
I know. It's astonishing to think, but it also explains why the Saints were abysmal for 4 decades. But let's see if they can find something somewhere, some way. Kat Terrell, ESPN.com. On Twitter at @_Terrell. Y'all go give her a follow on Twitter. Read her stuff. We appreciate it, Kat. Thanks so much for the time, as always.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, and hopefully I explained the salary cap to some beginners that maybe helped them out a little bit.
Well, the better piece of advice is go read the piece at ESPN.com because you lay it all out there. So, like, it's very easily explained there, so go read the piece at ESPN.com. Thanks, Kat.
I appreciate it.
All right, we'll see you. That is Kat Terrell. This is After Further Review. Todd McShay's got an updated mock draft. We'll get to that. And Pro Football Focus put out their list of draft sleepers. I think there's an omission. We'll talk about it next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by eXp Realty. Every home listed by every company, all in one place. You know where to find them. Agent225.com. That's agent225.com. If you need to sell your home, you need Darren James. Call Darren James and get your home sold. The thing that I'll remind you about Darren so many is Darren has a way of making you feel like you're his only client. It doesn't matter what the next step in your life is. That's generally what's happening when you're trying to buy or sell a home. Maybe you got married and you're buying that first home. Maybe you're an empty nester and you're downsizing. Maybe you're selling a family home after maybe your elderly parents have passed and now it's part of a succession. Maybe your family is separated. Maybe it's a divorce. Whatever it is, Darren helps you as easily and efficiently as possible to get whatever is next in life. It's Darren James. If you need a realtor, you need Darren James. 335-7666 or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Women who suffer from cardiac arrest outside of a hospital are less likely than men to receive life-saving CPR from bystanders. This is especially true for Black and Latino women. Be the one in your family to help change this statistic by taking the American Heart Association's challenge to learn CPR. Be the beat for someone you love. You can make a difference when it matters most. Go to heart.org today to take the CPR challenge and save lives.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
We're going to get to some Pluckers Trivia in about 15 minutes from right now. Otter Locks coming up later as well. Otter had a 4-2 night last night. Another winning night for the Ott Father. He's on a roll. We appreciate the Otter every night, so we'll get to him shortly. Pro Football Focus has listed their biggest sleepers in this upcoming draft class. They put that out today at over at PFF. And this, of course, comes post-Super Bowl and post-Senior Bowl in Mobile. So we'll run through. Go ahead, Paulie. We'll run through some of these. Nick Herbig from Wisconsin, big linebacker, is one of them. Darius Rush, cornerback from South Carolina, is also on the list. It's I was scrolling through to see if we'd run into any LSU players. Michael Wilson, a wide receiver from Stanford, is on there as well. Tyler Scott, a wide receiver from Cincinnati. Dwayne McBride, the running back from UAB. LSU got to see Dwayne McBride in Tiger Stadium this year. Of course, led the nation in rushing at the time. I don't know if he finished as the nation's leading rusher, but had a great season nonetheless. Moro Ojomo, a defensive tackle from the University of Texas. So some larger school guys, some smaller school guys, Western Kentucky, an edge guy from San Jose State, is a lot of what you see on this list. So I got to thinking, I wondered if we'd see an LSU guy on there, and there wasn't, of the 10 or so that they listed among the biggest sleepers. And maybe this is maybe it's cheating a bit, because maybe he's not a sleeper. But if I start to think of the guy from LSU in this draft class that maybe has that boom potential that's not going to be a first-round pick, I think it's Jay Ward. And maybe this needs to be tempered a little bit, because Jay Ward's not going to be a first-round pick. He might not be a day 2 pick. He might last until day 3, and we'll see how that goes for Jay when ultimately he gets there. But when I look at Jay Ward, having played 46 games during his career at LSU, and having played corner and nickel and safety, and the fact that he was so versatile during his time at LSU, when I think of what the NFL is looking for, that's what I think of. I mean, you could maybe make a case for like Jark Bernard Converse, who played a ton of football during his time in college, both at Oklahoma State and at LSU, transitioned from the Big 12 to the SEC, and played really well. So you could make that case. But I also think when you're looking at the NFL, there's at corner, to be on the outside, there's a certain level of athleticism you have to play on the outside. I don't know if that's Jark Bernard Converse. When I look at Jay Ward, I think he's got that athleticism. He may not be Sauce Gardner. He may not be what Patrick Peterson was when he came over to Derek Stingley. But he may not be Marshawn Lattimore. But can he play on the outside? Tell me if this makes sense. And the build doesn't fit, but I think of P.J. Williams. And P.J. Williams, maybe I just think P.J. Williams is bigger than Jay Ward, but he's 6 foot 196. P.J. Williams is. And P.J. Williams is working on a decade in the NFL. And when I look at Jay Ward, they got him listed at 6'2", 188. So they actually have Jay Ward bigger than P.J. Williams. And when I think of PJ, of course, he was drafted as a cornerback coming out of Florida State, but look at all the roles he's played. And I don't want you to roll your eyes, because a lot of Saints fans roll their eyes when they think about PJ Williams. But think about the number of different ways PJ Williams has impacted the Saints. As a nickel, as a dime, as a safety, as an outside cornerback when they've had injuries. He's played every position in that secondary because he's versatile enough to do it. I think that's Jay Ward. We saw Jay Ward in that 2020 COVID season play outside cornerback. After that, when they needed him to play nickel, he moved into a more comfortable spot. When they needed help at safety in 2021, he played safety. And he did all of them exceptionally well, and he's got good ball skills and athleticism and size. So I think if I'm looking at the guy in this LSU draft class that maybe, again, the term that Pro Football Focus uses is the sleepers in the class, and that makes a lot of sense. I think it's Jay Ward, man. I think Jay Ward is the guy in this class where he may exceed whatever expectations people have today of him. No one would be surprised if B.J. Ojulari becomes a really productive pass rusher. I don't think anybody would be surprised if Kayshon Boutte goes to the next level and becomes a great pass catcher. Ali Gay, if he becomes a 10-year pro and plays on the defensive line, I don't think anybody would be surprised by that. If Jay Ward is a guy that's in there for a decade and becomes a versatile piece in an NFL secondary and becomes a really important piece of a team's defense, nobody's talking about Jay Ward today, but I would present Jay Ward as the guy I think would be the biggest sleeper in this draft class from LSU. If you disagree, you got someone else, let me know. You can always email me, Matt at 1045ESPN.com. You can tweet us at Matt Moscona. You can jump in the Bayou Forward YouTube chat on the Watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel, or you can text in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. I'm going to get to Todd McShay's mock draft here in a second. Let me remind you about Mold Zero USA. Love telling you about Mold Zero USA. Love telling you about a great business, a veteran-owned business there. My guy Jim Woodworth over at Mold Zero does awesome work, man, because he saves people money and he keeps people healthy. Jim has done amazing work in disaster recovery. He actually was up in New York City post 9/11 helping with disaster recovery. He came to the coast after the BP oil spill to help with the recovery there and ultimately stayed. And that's why Jim's here. And he's got Mold Zero, which if you have mold or think you might, odors, other pathogens, this is a patented non-toxic dry fog that will eliminate mold, odor, other pathogens, and do so in a completely safe way without, with minimal disruption. You don't have to take furniture out of your house or take your pets or plants out. They'll come in, they'll spray this fog. It'll get into every nook and cranny, kill the mold, kill the odors, and as soon as the fog dissipates, go back in your house, free and clear. It's Mold Zero USA. Mold-0USA.com. Mold-0USA.com. So Todd McShay's got his updated mock draft out right now. And I'll save the spoiler. There are no LSU Tigers in Todd McShay's first round. We're all thinking like the most likely scenario would be potentially B.J. Ojulari in round one. There may be a team that falls in love with him, and he can leap up into somebody's first round. I would love to see that for B.J. Ojulari, but it would likely be a late round one guy. Could potentially even be to the New Orleans Saints, who are picking 29th. A couple of things of note. Of the 31 picks, remember only 31 first-round picks. Miami forfeited their first-round pick because of the Brian Flores situation. 10 of the 31 from the Southeastern Conference, no players from LSU in round one, which would be disappointing, but we'll see if Ojulari might be able to jump up in there. 4 quarterbacks taken in the top 9 picks. They've got, interestingly enough, McShay is projecting a trade at the top of round one. He's projecting the Colts to trade into the first overall pick with the Bears to secure Bryce Young from Alabama. So Bryce Young going to Indianapolis via trade. And then he's got the Houston Texans picking second overall, taking C.J. Stroud out of Ohio State. I don't think anybody would be stunned if it transpired that way. Will Anderson going 3 to the Arizona Cardinals, and then Jalen Carter, the big defensive lineman, going 4 to the Bears, followed by Tyree Wilson, the defensive end, going to Seattle at 5. If you're looking for the quarterbacks, the Raiders, of course, who cut Derek Carr, quarterback needy as well, picking 7th. McShay has them taking Will Levis out of Kentucky. He'll have to, I remain a skeptic. We'll see if Will Levis might become that dude at the next level, and I get it that he checks a lot of the boxes. I just don't know that makes sense. And then the Carolina Panthers, going Anthony Richardson from Florida, 9th overall, which means, of course, you'd have a team in the NFC South taking a quarterback in the top 10. So 4 of the top 9 picks in the draft, quarterbacks, 3 of them from the Southeastern Conference with Bryce Young, Will Levis, and Anthony Richardson. I'm not sure what that says about the SEC, if it's just a one-off or if the league has gotten that good at the most important position in team sports, but it certainly seems that way. If you're looking for the Saints at 29, Todd McShay has the Saints doing what the Saints do, and that's drafting someone on the line of scrimmage, which, by the way, I don't mind at all the Saints taking players on the line of scrimmage. I think when you look at the best teams in football, you look at dominant line of scrimmage teams. The two best teams on the line of scrimmage this year in the NFL were the Eagles and the 49ers. And when you look at the way the Chiefs' offensive line was able to stonewall the Eagles in the Super Bowl, I mean, it's a major hat tip to that team. When you look at the Cincinnati Bengals, wouldn't you love to see the Cincinnati Bengals draft linemen? So I don't mind that the Saints keep taking their swing with linemen. And look, they've hit, certainly, over the years. Cam Jordan, they certainly hit on Sheldon Richardson, although he's gone now. Ryan Ramczyk, without a doubt. And then there's, look, Eric McCoy has been a total home run. And then there's some that have been starting players but mixed reviews. If it's a guy like Cesar Ruiz or Andrus Peat. And then there's guys that are total busts so far, like Marcus Davenport or Peyton Turner. So I'm not mad at them continuing to take their swings with guys in the line of scrimmage. I would love to see them take a quarterback if the situation presented. I don't know if that's going to happen at 29. But where McShay has the Saints going at 29 is Keon White, a defensive end from Georgia Tech. So this is the pick that they acquired from the Sean Payton trade. McShay notes White's coming off a 7.5 sack season, had a good week in Mobile at the Senior Bowl. He does know that the pass rush was a strength of New Orleans last season, where they were 5th in the NFL in sacks. He notes Cam Jordan's turning 34 and David Onyemata is scheduled to join Marcus Davenport in free agency. The other thing I'll mention, yes, the Saints were 5th in the NFL in sacks, but Cam Jordan was the only player in double digits, and your second, the guy who was second on the team in sacks, was Caden Ellis. It was linebacker. It was Caden Ellis and Demario Davis. You didn't get production out of your defensive ends. You didn't get production out of your defensive line. So, yes, I am okay drafting either a defensive end because you're going to watch Marcus Davenport walk in free agency, or an interior lineman, and I think they're going to need to draft someone on the interior of the defensive line either way. So we're all going to be looking quarterback and to see what the Saints do at that position in this draft, and I think I feel the way many of you feel. I would love to see the Saints take Hendon Hooker. If he's there at 29, great. If he's there at 40, even better. I don't know where Hendon Hooker is going to come off the board, but that would be my choice, and I think many of you agree, because that's the best player in the most realistic spot for the Saints. But if the Saints can draft a defensive lineman at 29 and come back and get Hooker at 40, I would feel pumped about that. We got a few months to go before we get through all this. The Combine's coming up, and there's going to be plenty more mock drafts. But expect to see more of this. If it's Keon White, if it's an interior player, if it's Apu Ika, someone who people around here would know well, just expect to see that. The biggest need the Saints team has is revamping their defensive front, which took a gigantic step back this year. I mean, that's looking at pass rush, but the Saints were 22nd in run defense this year. So, yes, revamping the defensive line is key, and so is finding your future at quarterback. We'll see if the Saints can do that with their 2 top 40 picks. All right, we're glad to have you aboard with us here. Let me knock out a quick break. When we come back, we'll get to some Pluckers Trivia, as we are apt to do here on Wednesdays. Of course, every Wednesday, AFR is brought to you by Pluckers, and Pluckers does trivia every Wednesday at both locations. 7:30 at Blue Bonnet, 8 o'clock at Nicholson. Get on by, test your knowledge, eat wings, drink beer, win Pluckers gift cards and other great prizes at Pluckers, where if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. Okay, we'll knock out a break. Pluckers Trivia next. Stay here.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Really cool to see Gordon and Kim Mulkey there on the Super Bowl commercial this past weekend for Super Bowl Sunday. But more importantly, it's really cool to see what Gordon does for our community. There's so many ways that Gordon continues to give back through the Gordon Gives initiative, the charitable arm of Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. We've been telling you about Playing for a Purpose, where Gordon Gives is donating $20 for every point scored by Alexis Morris and Angel Reese to the Turner Syndrome Foundation. That's a charity chosen by Kim Mulkey, a charity that Turner Syndrome has touched the Mulkey family, if you all know that story. But it's a great thing that Gordon's doing. Another way that he continues to give back to great charitable organizations, to the young athletes through NIL opportunities, and to many in our community. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. You need representation. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done. Go to getgordon.com. That's getgordon.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off new 2022 Ram 1500s. 2022 Ram 1500 trucks on our lot now with $10,000 off MSRP. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walker.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrell with HUDCORoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrell and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Toyota in Opelousas is spreading the love this month with amazing deals. Get 3.99% financing on new 23 Highlanders, and as always, you'll never pay over MSRP. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Saturday, February 25th, 7 p.m. The Bulls, Bands, and Barrels Tour at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center. Presented by Jerry Lane Chevrolet. Edge of your seat excitement with bull riding, barrel racing, ultimate bullfighting. With a live performance by Bailey Zimmerman. With Timothy Wayne, plus two-time PBR world champion Chris Shivers, and Brinson James, the entertainer. Tickets and information at bullsbandsandbarrels.com. Saturday, February 25th, Lamar Dixon Expo Center at 7 p.m. Presented by Jerry Lane Chevrolet, the #1 Chevrolet dealer in Louisiana.
I had to leave my parents. I had to move schools. I don't know anyone here. Everything keeps changing. Why is this happening to me? I'm sure glad you're here.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
Women who suffer from cardiac arrest outside of a hospital are less likely than men to receive life-saving CPR from bystanders. Be the beat for your community.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, we are rolling along. Get some Otter Locks here in a little, about 10 minutes from right now. So we're going to move quickly here to get it all in. It is a hump day. It is trivia night over at Pluckers. It is the Pels' final game before the All-Star break. The Pels are out in L.A. to take on the Lakers tonight, 9 o'clock tip. So a lot going on. Looking forward to this one tonight. Hopefully the Pels can finish here before the All-Star break with a little bit of a bang. It is worth noting C.J. McCollum and Larry Nance both questionable for tonight's ball game. So might just be an opportunity to get these guys a little more rest in addition to the All-Star break. So we'll keep an eye on that before they had to tip off tonight against the Lakers. Okay. We do this on Trivia Night at Pluckers. We test a little knowledge. We see how Muse can do. Hopefully you're smarter than Muse. Because then you'd win some gift cards.
For a lot of reasons, though, actually.
Yeah. In particular, in this case, though.
Yeah.
So that people could actually win some gift cards.
Yeah.
Maybe some...
you get to spin the prize wheel anyway, but you want to win. Like, let's be honest. You want to win.
Well, I mean, you win the round. Not only get bragging rights, but you win prizes when you win the round.
Yeah. You play to win the game.
Hello. Okay. Yeah, Muse, I'm not...
Okay, you could have just left it as let's see how Moose is going to do.
Yeah, but I really think this is the time where, yeah, man. Okay, we'll see.
Okay, just leave it at that.
I'm going at best. You're getting one at best. At best, you're getting one. Like, you may have a Hail Mary in you.
We don't have a theme. It's just general trivia here.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Muse.
Yeah.
Irwin Cannonball Baker was the first commissioner of what sports organization?
That's such a good name.
Cannonball.
Irwin Cannonball
Baker.
Yeah. Let's see, Matt. He was the first commissioner of Major League Baseball. Everybody knows that.
No, it wasn't. No. That'd be NASCAR.
Okay, yeah.
Cannonball. Nickname. Should have given it away.
Why would that give it away?
Because everybody in NASCAR races has a nickname.
Everybody who plays baseball has a nickname. And it
No,
ends in
not
a Y.
everybody. Only people that end in a Y. Hey, Muse.
Yeah.
I told you. I mean, Hail Mary may be one of them.
NASCAR. That's deep cut
Muse, in what year did Arthur air its first episode on PBS Kids?
Oh.
Were you an Arthur fan?
Not really, no. I mean, I'd seen it. You know,
Arthur's the cartoon.
Yeah.
Was he like a little mouse? What is Arthur?
I don't know. I guess he had whiskers, little short ears. Yeah, I'm not sure what animal Arthur really was.
Cat?
No, I don't think it was a cat, though. I think mouse is actually more...
A boll weevil?
What is that?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's go with that. That's what he was. No, Arthur was more of the, substitute teacher or whatever, wheel the TV into the classroom type deal, and maybe they put on Arthur when you were a kid.
I'd never watched Arthur.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the only time. I wasn't a big Arthur guy. But it's got to be old, man. So I'm going to go with 1974.
Hey, Muse.
Yeah.
When you throw the Hail Mary, throw it toward the opposing end zone, not your end zone.
Oh, God.
You know
was
what I
that
mean?
bad? It was that?
1996.
Really? See, I thought it was older than that.
1996 would be Arthur.
Dang, I'm older than Arthur. I didn't count on that.
Let's see. I don't know that Arthur is an anthropomorphic aardvark. That's what Arthur is.
Okay.
That's what he is. There it is.
That's dumb.
An anthropomorphic aardvark. Okay, one more, Muse.
You didn't have
Here
the
you go.
long nose, though. Don't the aardvarks have
I think you're thinking about an anteater.
Yeah. Shout out UC Irvine.
Okay, Muse.
To avoid the sweep.
I said you'd be lucky for 1 out of 3. Now, honestly, I think
Gotta salvage game 3 here.
I think this might be your only option. Like, going into it, I thought, maybe the Hail Mary on NASCAR. I mean, there's a limited number of sports. Maybe you throw something out there and you name it, right? But this is the one I think you might legitimately have had an opportunity to get. We'll see.
All right.
I just don't know how learned you are.
I mean, this never goes well.
I don't know how well read and how learned you are.
It's a house of learned doctors.
Hey, Muse.
Yeah.
What author?
Oh, God.
Created the...
God. Okay, created...
What? Can I finish?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Can I get the question out? What is this? I mean, did you do this to your teachers in school?
No.
It's a miracle they didn't throw you out of the room.
Actually.
How'd you graduate? It's incredible. All right, Muse. What author created the character Jack Ryan?
Oh, Tom Clancy.
Oh, yeah!
How about that? Yeah. That wasn't even a Hail Mary. I knew that one. I knew that one.
I knew it. I knew that was the one you get.
Yeah, man.
Thought. Well, I hoped. I just I don't know how learned you are. How well read and learned you are. I mean, if you don't read books, you wouldn't know that.
And I don't read books, though.
Why did you know that?
Well, yeah. It's like TV, video games, things of that nature.
Jack Ryan's a video game?
No, TV show as well. But Tom Clancy did some video games as well.
Like what?
Rainbow Six.
What is that?
It was like a military-style game.
Okay. Any other video games you play, Muse?
No, man, I haven't played a video game in a long time.
Good.
And if I do these days, it's only NCAA football. So that's it.
Okay.
It's the GOAT.
Did they bring it back?
Not yet. They will.
It's coming back.
Yeah, it will.
I know it's coming back. I don't know if it's back yet.
Not yet. They pushed it back.
Let me know.
Okay.
Anxiously awaiting.
Yeah, man.
The return of NCAA football.
So good.
So I can not ever play it.
It's so good.
It's so not interesting at all.
Oh, disagree.
An adult human with a wife and a child and a career and other things.
Spoken like someone who's never won back-to-back titles with Eastern Michigan.
That's true. I haven't. I haven't. Maybe I would be a little more connected.
Yeah.
Okay. Do better than Muse tonight when you get by Pluckers for a little trivia. All right. It's after further review. We'll knock out our final break of the show and come back to a little Otter Locks. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by the Renaissance Hotel. Hey, Friday. Oh, I want to read this to you. I got a text into the show today, and I was fired up for it. Been telling you, Take Me Out to Tallulah is this Friday, and I'm excited about it. Come on out, meet us at Tallulah. Watch the opening game of the LSU baseball season. Rally Cap will be there with some beer samples. Taylor Calandro will be there with allocated whiskey samples. He'll have a Willet Purple Top and a Michter's 10-year rye. Beer, drink, and food specials. How about this text from Lenson Mobile? Said, Matt, want to say thanks for the tip. Wife and I went to eat at Tallulah on Saturday night. Absolutely tremendous experience. Staff, atmosphere, amazing. Even the food, better than amazing. Thank you. How about that from Lenson Mobile? I'm telling y'all, the menu is incredible. It's affordable. It's fun. Great ambiance. Check it out. It's Tallulah Restaurant. It's inside the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet. Come see us Friday at Tallulah.
You'll love the deals this month at Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Get 3.99% financing on new 23 Highlanders, and as always, you'll never pay over MSRP. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas. Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
Women who suffer from cardiac arrest outside of a hospital are less likely than men to receive life-saving CPR from bystanders. This is especially true for Black and Latino women. Be the one in your family to help change this statistic by taking the American Heart Association's challenge to learn CPR. Be the beat for someone you love. You can make a difference when it matters most. Go to heart.org today to take the CPR challenge and save lives.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Pluckers Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Pluckers Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch, we come final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. Remember, Trivia Night at Pluckers. T-Bob and I are live over at Oliver Twist for Scone and Tea at 7 o'clock on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. Come on and join us there at Oliver Twist if you can't watch us on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. All right, one thing left to do. Find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable, the often incomprehensible, the man who at one point in his life was wearing his readers at the end of his nose with a flashlight on his phone shining on a menu as he ordered coq au vin at Bistro Nico in Atlanta. But the Williamson Eye Center changed all that. He is Jimmy Ott. Otter, how are you?
Thank you, Dr. Blake. There's no, before, at that point, I had no Valentine. I had to beat him off with yesterday, So, there you go. There you go. Thank you, Dr. Blake.
So,
hey, man, I love Oliver Twist. Huh? I love that.
That's a great spot, man. I love Oliver. We love whenever we're wrapping up the show and the Ott Father is coming in to hold court after doing a little game time.
All right, here we go. We got to get to work. All right, real quick.
All right.
Check and see what you can get. Florida in-game money line right now. They're in a commercial break. In-game money line.
I'm looking at Florida minus 11.5.
No, in money line.
Oh, money line, minus 690.
Okay, Iowa State money line.
Are we parlaying these?
Yes.
All right, Iowa State.
And Clemson money line, those three.
Iowa State minus 225. And Clemson?
Yeah, I had like plus 10.
490. Yep.
105, 110 at
it's minus 101.
Yeah, there you go. All right,
okay.
That's number
Got
one.
It. All right.
Yeah, we got to get back on the money line train there after the little skip last night. That's all right.
That's all good.
All
man.
right.
4-2
all
night,
right.
Otter. I'll take it.
Yes, indeed. Will we take it? Yes, sir.
All right. Florida, Iowa State, and Clemson money line parlay. Okay, what else you got?
Bet of the night. I need more cowbell. Yes, give me more cowbell. Okay.
Right. Mississippi State laying the 3?
I got minus 2.5, but do what you bet. If you got 3, just lay 3.
Okay.
Okay. That's our best one of the night. They're in a tournament. Kentucky's not. They're at home. They're playing better. They've won and covered 5 in a row. I mean, the first 5 of their 7 losses in the conference were 2 from Alabama, 2 from Tennessee, and at Auburn. Man, I love them tonight. Indiana minus 2. The court storm fade. You watched Super Bowl Sunday when Northwestern came back to beat number 1 Purdue. Taking Indiana minus the 2 at Northwestern.
Okay.
All right. A&M later tonight. I got minus 3.5. You might have 4 against Arkansas. Arkansas struggling. It's just in.
All right.
And A&M's at home.
My apologies. I was.
It's late. It's toward the end.
A&M. We're looking at minus 4. Yes. A&M minus 4.
Okay. Iowa State minus 5.5.
All right. Are we buying the half point to 5?
Yes.
Okay.
And then Tennessee minus 3. Getting ready to tip in just a second.
All right. Tennessee minus 3 is getting ready.
ESPN2.
All right. Where are you tonight, Otter?
Snows, seafood, and steak. So about a block and a half from Oliver Twist. So, up to there.
For those that don't know, Snows is in Gonzales, and Oliver Twist is not. So they're actually not close at all. Let's see. And I'm locking in all my bets right now. So Tennessee. All right, Tennessee laying the 3, getting all this done. What you got coming up tonight, Otter?
Oh, man, picks. We'll also kind of go back with our handicappers over the course of the season, what our best win was and what our worst beat was of the NFL season. Do you remember yours? I remember.
Oh, man. Worst beat? No, I don't. Not off the top.
I'm a positive guy. I remember the best wins. And mine was, a little game getting ready to go to overtime, and then the ball carrier decides to throw it back to the New England quarterback, Mac Jones. It's picked. Little brother, get out of the way. Get out of the way. The people in Natchez had to come and check on me in the room. I said, trust me, it's a good deal. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Game time with Jimmy Otter follows us in Baton Rouge. If you're not in Baton Rouge, online at 1045 ESPN, ESPN.com, or the Game Time with Jimmy Otter Facebook page. If you just want to see that face, that glasses-free face, the spectacle-free face, courtesy of Dr. Blake Williamson over at the Williamson Eye Center. Otter, you and my dad had the same surgery. You could basically be my dad.
Oh, I feel like your dad.
Well, you and I have the same hairdo. So does my dad, by the way.
Yeah.
All right, Otter, we appreciate it.
He's a good New Orleans boy. I know that.
Genetically, I got the big nose, the bald head, and the bad eyes. I nailed it genetically.
Well, your father is a prince of a man. He's a gentleman.
He is. He is awesome. He is. All right, Otter, we appreciate it, man. Thanks. Have a great show.
All right, see you. Bye.
All right, Otter follows us however you're listening. Well, I guess that's not true, because if you're listening in New Orleans or in Alec, you're not gonna catch Otter. But in Baton Rouge or on the stream or the Game Time with Jimmy Out Facebook page, you can catch it right there. All right, just about wrapping up here on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Pluckers. If you missed anything, of course, AFR on demand, presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time at golf.breck.org. That's golf.breck.org. We'll be at Oliver Twist, T-Bob and I, coming up for a scone and tea, an hour and 5 minutes from right now. Come join us out at Oliver Twist, or you can watch on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. All right, Muse, Jacob, Paulie, we appreciate you. Y'all have a great night. See you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, we remind you about Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com, home of the Charlie's Dozen. I love telling you about Shawbills because, man, at Shawbills, they treat you like family. That's what they've done for more than 50 years. You can go to ShawbillsTire.com. That's ShawbillsTire.com to find all of the promotions they have. And right now, I love this one. They just added this one. I was texting with Martin on Monday. They just added this one for the rest of the month. It's BF Goodrich, Michelin, and Toyo. You can get an instant $60 off. $60 off instantly, a set of 4 tires with free install when you use your new or existing Shawbills credit card. Of course, card benefits, you get 6 months of no interest. You get double warranty on all service work, plus all the free installs and all the other work that goes along with it when applicable. Learn more at ShawbillsTire.com or book your service today at ShawbillsTire.com. Shawbills, we keep you rolling.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on select new 2022 Ford F-150 trucks. $10,000 off plus 0% financing. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by